The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, who wants to hear a funny limerick? I know I do. Here it goes. There once was a man from Guyana who liked to play the piano. His finger did slip, and he undid his zip, and out fell his fucking banana. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You are listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 146 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. It is navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we also watch German films.
What are you drinking tonight, Michael Ravenshadow? Because it smells like the Lucky Dog Girls Room in here right now.
I'm drinking Lucky Dog Girls Room Ale. Brought to your friends at the Lucky Dog.
Dispenser.
Wait,
It's
you've been in
dispensed.
the ladies' room of the Lucky Dog?
One time.
Why would you go in there, Dynamo?
I go in all the time.
It's a free dispensary there, too.
See, here's the
you get
secret.
as much as you want.
When I'm there during the day, and there's like, two dudes eating really bad food, I'm not going to wait for that one stall just because it's the men's room when we're in the club alone.
What's the really bad food? Is it like urine cakes?
No, it's like delicious, all kinds of bad food. Like delicious Thai food, or it's not necessarily food that's bad for you, but it's the end result is bad.
McDonald's.
No,
That's the worst.
I can't. I don't think I have ever eaten McDonald's. The barbecue place.
You had McDonald's like 2 months ago when you were on your diet.
No, not in the club. Not in the club.
Oh.
Like, no.
And the Clud?
Ethan McGloofabits and I wouldn't go to McDonald's. We would go to the barbecue place, have some Thai food.
I did see Little Caesars now has a
Pizza.
thick crust. Yeah. They have a thick crust pizza they have bacon wrapped crust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
Come
Anyone try
back,
it?
Johnny. Come back.
Something's got to entice you to eat the crust anyway. I mean, usually that's the last thing they leave.
That's one of the things I knew that my special lady friend and I had something going, because I don't ever eat the crust, but she loves the crust. So like, one piece of pizza is like a whole meal for us. Like,
This is the least offensive episode of Trick or Treat Radio ever.
Well, stay tuned.
We're
All right. Fuck bastards, cock sucking, motherfucking, ball sniffing assholes.
wait till the guy that couldn't make it in Professor Xavier's school over there, xenophobe man, starts talking about starts talking about the German stuff later.
they made a remake of the stuff in Germany?
Ooh.
It's called Das Stuff.
Wie geht's in der Hademogen? Der Watz ist los. Ubermensch. Liebchen.
Holy shit, you're German.
Jawohl.
You didn't have to read the subtitles in this movie this week, did you?
There were subtitles?
See?
Nice. Gartenhimmel. All my German I know from comic books.
Du hast.
Du hast. Du hast mescht.
Ashklo.
I got your Rammstein. Feeling fine.
All right, so here we are, Wednesday evening. We have some, I guess they call it housekeeping in the radio business. Is that what they say? Anyways, I mentioned it to the guys earlier, but next week we are going to be doing the show on Tuesday, May 19th. So if you do want to tune into the live show, we're going to be a night early. Because, why are we doing it a night early, Dynamo?
Because it is 30 days after the holiest of holy days, April 19th, the birth of me.
That's not why we're doing it, but it's a good reason, I guess.
Calendar-wise.
What's going on May 20th, Dynamo? That's what I'm asking.
What's going on May 20th, you ask? Dynamira presents The Independence Black Cat Attack at Ralph's Chadwick Square Diner. It's not really a diner, it's a rock club, folks. Don't be fooled. You're not going to be hanging out with the Mongoloid kid that doesn't know raisins from horse shit. you are going to be in one of the coolest rock clubs in the city, someplace who we don't do business with enough. So it's going to be real fun. And Trick or Treat Radio heads, people of Worcester. Nothing ever cool happens in Worcester. Worcester sucks. Well, this is about as fucking cool as it gets. It's not going down in Boston. So come to this show. These are two great horror-themed punk bands that write great songs and are great live entities and is worth the very small cover that they're asking. So get there.
Do we know what the cover is, by the way?
Mind your own business. You have to find out and go.
Well, I need to save my. I need to count some pennies probably to get in. So,
If only you knew the person that put it on the show.
well, you know,
I'm sure they'll charge me. So
it's true. Exactly.
I have to give credit where credit is due, and this happens a lot. Me and Myra really, like on that Deadite show, worked like hand in hand very, very well. But this is definitely more of a Myra joint than a me joint. They reached out to her because she is so fucking phenomenal. And, it's very seldom that you meet somebody that is so good with two sides of their brain. Like usually art type people aren't very good promoters, but Myra's a great promoter, a great graphic designer, and a hell of a lady. So they reached out to her. They put the show. We put the show together, and it's cool. I hope it's the first of many things we do at Ralph's, because man cannot live on cake alone, and the Lucky Dog has surely been our cake for many, many years.
So the other thing that may happen, we may toy with this idea, and it's not really going to impact people necessarily, but we may try to do an on-location recording. We're going to do some tests over the week and available for us to do, and if so, we might do
Allowed to go.
I'm going.
2
and
nights.
MonsterZero is gonna try. He may.
I
be
would
there
say there's a better chance of MonsterZero being there than Michael Ravenshadow.
You out of your freaking mind.
too. He likes
No,
going
'cause
to.
here's the difference.
He used to go to Ralph's every
Here's
Wednesday
the only
night.
thing that keeps MonsterZero in the house. MonsterZero doesn't want to go because he's afraid of human beings. If we could convince him that it's safe, he'll go. You won't be allowed.
I am allowed.
You're
I've
not
been to
allowed.
Ralph's.
I know you've been to Ralph's, sweetie pie. We're not talking about it.
Bye.
Sit back, relax. We're saying good things about you. I know the language is befuddling at times.
You definitely were on OTC tonight.
But what?
All right,
Did-
kitten.
Did Bill make fun of you? Because it's not you're a little revved up.
He's all
No,
amped
no.
up on fucking
No, it's
goofballs.
not. It's not. We were very civil to each other. It was a
I
very
actually
nice show.
I did tune in for a little bit, and you
I
guys
said
were
nice
very
things
civil.
about. I said nice things about you.
Oh, I missed those. I should go back and
Very
listen
nice
to them.
things right at the beginning. You know what sucks? Thanks God I had sent some of them to Bill ahead of time. My iPhone overheated. So when I was having trouble all night with my mic, we finally figured out it was my microphone's broken, which I'd suspected was happening for a long time. And at the end of it, I can't wait to hear what it sounds like on that end. Like, I guess it just sounded like crazy and like nuts. But I picked up my phone, and it was like hot to the touch. So my phone was overheating and some wacky shit was going on. So I didn't get
Were you
all the
were you
plugs
looking
in,
up-
but Bill took care of us.
What were you watching on your phone? You must have been
I
watching
thought I was
something
on
hot.
Skype.
The naked news.
Naked
Well,
news.
sometimes when
We were
touch,
talking about all the
honesty's
fucking
too
phenomenal
much.
shows we're going to go to. That was the.
I
kind
did
of
hear
the gist.
that. I did hear that.
Yeah, what a
Yep.
great summer. And there's still some shows that I'm going to catch Matt Nathis in a couple times.
I'm gonna have to count my pennies for those
They Might
too.
Be Giants is swinging through. Faith No More. Like all these great shows.
Oh wow!
Speaking of which,
The best part is all the tickets went on sale on my birthday, so I didn't have to pay for most of them.
So that's a nice segue. I don't think we're going to get another good segue like that, so I'm going to take advantage. Next week, we'll talk about what film we're going to review later on after we review this week's film. But next week, since it'll have just come out on that day, comes out on May 19th, Faith No More's first album in 18 years, Soul Invictus. We're going to do a review of it.
Oh, can't wait.
It just started streaming online a couple days ago, so we're able to get some streams of that playing, and we've been checking it out, and we're gonna have a review for you. It'll be the first time we've ever done an album review on Trick or Treat Radio. So I figured if any band deserved to have an album reviewed, it's Faith No More.
And that should be in our rotation too, because we've not you, and maybe not Tiny, but I know that I've had to build my film critique vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
But music is actually something that I popular to critical and contrary opinion, I actually know how to do. So, I have that vocabulary a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So it should be really interesting. I'm hoping I know we know a lot of people who are really into Faith No More. I mean, obviously, all of us are into Faith No More to varying degrees. But I've seen them live, I think 4 times now. I'm probably going to miss them this summer. But like it's a band that's probably collectively one of our favorite bands on the show, and it just makes sense. Their first album, I think it's 18 years, 17 or 18 years.
Was their
It's
last
a
album Kick
long
for a Day?
time.
No, album of the year.
I'm sorry,
Album of the
Day.
year.
Yeah.
Which I think is my favorite.
Nothing's going to top Angel Dust for me.
Angel Dust is
to
me the greatest album
See,
ever
I love
made.
Angel Dust, but like, I think here's what's great about Faith No More. Not many bands have done this in the modern era. I enjoy Angel Dust from front to back, and that's the way I enjoy it the most.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm just picking through songs on my Subsonic, like those last 2 records,
Oh, yeah,
get
for
a
sure.
lot of-
I totally agree. I think there's some all the songs are great, but there's some really standout tracks that you can listen to here and there.
Jesus Christ. What's your favorite Faith No More song, Wolfie, if you had to pick?
No, let's do it next week.
No, I'm asking now.
No, we're going to do it
Because
next
I'm
week.
going to sing
No,
it.
let's do it now.
We don't have much time.
We got plenty of time.
No, we don't.
Why?
Because we have an interview tonight.
We do?
Yeah, I told you. I messaged you.
My phone was probably overheating.
Probably.
Why?
We got a little more
No,
than an
I know.
hour.
Yeah, we have an interview at 10:30, so we need to get to the film review in just a few moments.
Intros.
Yeah, we haven't even done intros. I haven't even told you what we're doing tonight.
I told you to start without me, so it's not
We
my
did.
fault.
We
I
did. But we weren't ready enough with enough time. So what's going to happen tonight? We're going to review the film from Artsploitation Films, Der Samurai, this German horror fantasy, I guess you could call it. We watched this week, and we're going to talk about that. That's our featured film review. And then later on, we're going to talk to Joshua Wagner, the director / producer / writer of a new film called The Badger Game. It recently was released on VOD, and it looks like it's going to get a theatrical run as well, a small theatrical run. It's been getting really rave reviews.
Nice.
I saw Fangoria, Dread Central, a lot of other sites have been covering it and talking about it. So,
There is to know about the Badger Game.
is that the soundtrack?
I hope so.
It is now.
I take requests.
Joshua Wagner.
Wagner. Yeah. Well, it is German, so
jawohl.
we're talking about Der Samurai, so might as well.
Exciting.
So no, we're going to talk to Joshua Wagner. This whole thing just came together really quickly, and I'm glad that we're going to have him on because The Badger Game looks like a really cool film, and it's also something we may be reviewing shortly as well. So, but I wanted to get him on, spread the word about the film, talk to him about how the creative process behind this film and getting it made, and just a little bit of his background. So we don't really know Josh, but we're going to talk to him and get a feel for him, interview him, find out what he's all about, what the Badger Game is all about. It's got some cool masks. You see the animal masks on the
Checking that
poster?
out. Yeah. I'm trying to read the poster.
Looks
So, so it looks like a really cool film, and we're going to talk to Josh later on, and then we're going to final part of the show. We're going to do a little bit of feedback, which we don't have too much so far this week. So if you're listening live and want to get some feedback in, get it in, and we'll get to it tonight. And that's what's going on tonight. Let me introduce everyone. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. We also have the immortal gunslinger, the singer and lyricist for the Deadites, fresh off his guest spot on OTC. We have Dynamo Mars.
What's up, y'all?
Literally fresh off. It was like an hour ago, 2 hours
Yeah, I
ago.
had time to get fucking shoved 2 tacos down my gullet before I got here.
2 tacos and a microphone.
You know, I realized today, like,
What are their names?
so fucking blessed to like have be part of the community that we're part of. Like, you know, I slid on that show, was treated like a guest, but it really just like felt like it was this show. You know, and there are half dozen shows where we have that relationship with, and it's awesome. Unfortunately, none of them would help us today, so we're going to be dealing with Ravenshadow and MonsterZero here. So, what are you talking about? Come on, I know what's going to happen. I wrote some of your bit down at noontime today. We won the war.
Brajole.
We did win the war.
I don't. You know, it'd be better if
Both of them?
It'd be better if he wasn't addressed. But
We'll get to that very
Kill
very
Bill
shortly.
called. No, I didn't even know. You don't even know.
All right. We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, hot pocket loving, comic book reading nerd. He has not seen Avengers Age of Ultron yet, and the official smoke machine
Are
for
you
the Deadites.
fucking me in the ass?
Michael Ravenshadow.
God.
How's that happen?
You'd fucking know it if that was the case.
yeah, it would
That's a fucking
be like that time I sat on floss.
That's a visual.
Ain't a pen in your pocket.
Need a pen in your pocket.
Thank you, Johnny.
Pens are bigger.
And that's right. Whether I'm paid hourly or on salary, I am always on the Glock.
You're sourly.
Click,
sourly.
click, boom. That's right.
You are paid sour.
I am sourly.
Yeah.
Sour grapes. Descendants. It's exciting.
It is exciting. And we also have the vulgar guru of horror. He is the star. Well, are you technically the star of Morbid Tales? Or
Yes, I am.
Okay. He is the star of Morbid Tales, which will be coming out probably the end of the year, right?
Yeah, we're hoping for an October release.
This is fucking
right.
awesome. I just got a thing from Brian that said as soon as he admitted that pre-orders went through the roof.
Contributor for Horror Hound magazine,
It was a catapult, not orders. But
MonsterZero.
Yay! Hello. Yes, and even though I have not seen Age of Ultron yet, I did get to see the Avengers finally.
Oh, that's right. You
Yes.
did. And
Yeah.
2 thumbs up. I thought it was great.
2 thumbs out of how
why
many?
would I
2
ever
thumbs
lie
up.
to you? That's the question. Whenever you,
I don't. Look, I never said that you lie to me. Look, you're
He lies to everyone else. No, he's pretty
when
honest.
when it comes to comic book movies or comic book anything, really, Dynamo's the guy that I would have to talk to.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So fuck you.
What about the
and
Quasar
fuck
film?
You.
That's what I'm talking about. Wendell Vaughn like a mother trucker.
Dynamo knows his shit. So
I
he
would
was right.
Thank you. I would say my comic book knowledge is to you is the same as MonsterZero's horror knowledge. I think where you may know there's a certain element of comics that you know better than anybody. Like you have an area of expertise. I would say the big two from like 1978 to now are, well, I'd say maybe 1998. So you start
Wait,
to
to me?
fade. Yeah, you start to fade a little bit in the 2000s, I think.
No, I talk about fucking Now, Image, Malibu, fucking Dark Horse, Justice Machine. Remember them? Demon,
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. I see a fucking contest coming, John.
But I think there's like a new breed of like indie comics that like I'm like more on top of. So I don't know more than you. I just know different. But he trusts me, and that's what
I do.
would
Yeah,
say
I don't
that
trust
is.
you at all.
Well, as a flaw.
Dude, you smoke. Why should I trust a smoker?
What?
You shouldn't. Nobody should.
smoke-
No, but
Smoker's
I
one
mean,
thing, the bad
as
beer
far
is
as
another.
characters go, I mean, just from my point of view of it all, I thought Thor was great.
Yeah.
I thought the Hulk was like far better than the previous Hulk films. I mean that those
You
were
didn't like
just-
the Ang Lee one?
No, I don't.
Don't make me Ang Lee. You won't like me when I'm Ang Lee.
I don't like
I thought the Hulk in this one was fantastic. I thought Iron Man was pretty cool. I thought Black Widow was awesome and sexy to
Yeah, I fucking love
boot.
her in those movies.
Yeah. And
What about Hawkeye?
Hawkeye? Yeah, I was just gonna mention Hawkeye. I thought Hawkeye was pretty good.
The purple clad Bowman.
Yes.
Although Dynamo and I had a small discussion about this about Captain America. Personally, I think Captain America is. I see him as being. He says he's a strategist, which is
A strategist?
Yeah,
a strategist.
I probably
Strategist,
spelled it as
strategist,
strategist.
He
whatever.
plays a lot of Stratego.
Stratego.
And
That's actually
it's a-
pronounced Stratago.
and that's possible. That's true. But as an overall superhero, he's lacking. First of all, he's a completely outdated character. I mean, when Captain America was made, whenever that was, a long time ago, everyone had a very high opinion of America. Everyone loved America. America this, America that. Yay, yay, yay.
I'm still pretty into it.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean,
That's
not for
fine.
nothing.
That's fine, but I mean, in today's world, if someone named Captain America just wouldn't, if you pardon the expression, fly, it just wouldn't work.
But that's the point.
It's an
He's a man
outdated-
out of time.
That's the point, though. Like he's fighting from under.
How would that scene?
I get that, but it shouldn't work.
How would that scene?
Somehow in a weird way it does, but I just think
Some
of it
would
as a
argue
very-
that if there was a Captain America, some of the things that would be happening now that you're kind of, I think, basing your opinion on wouldn't go on.
oh
Like
you-
Ferguson wouldn't fucking fly with Captain America around.
no, that's true.
The car companies probably wouldn't have left.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Well, we need RoboCop. We need RoboCop
But
and Captain America.
also his fight skills are lacking in comparison to everyone else.
He's a super soldier.
I don't know.
How about
I
the
just
scene?
Don't buy into it.
Everything you said is correct except for that. How about the scene when the aliens are running amok and Cap gives orders to the cops and like, why should we follow you?
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
all the
yeah.
aliens show up
Wait.
and he smacks them all down.
Caps,
Yep.
Caps. He's talking to Carps, and like,
What I say?
was he Aquaman? He can talk to the fish.
Yeah.
No, Aquaman, you cannot marry a woman without gills. We're from two different worlds.
Cap was talking to the cop.
Caps.
Oh, and all right, the pigs. The pigs are like, why should we?
My favorite in the entire bunch. That guy was just fucking awesome.
Sexy.
And I love that scene where Hulk just started thrashing Thor's brother. What was his name?
Loki.
Loki. Just thrashing him in that.
Oh yeah, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
Puny God.
I just fucking love that.
We should watch the Avengers right now.
But I mean, it was action. Nick Fury was cool, and yeah, I want to see Age of Ultron now. Now you got me hooked.
Do you want to go Friday?
I would recommend in between watching
Yeah.
that
You
Captain
gotta-
America and the Winter Soldier.
You got to watch. I think you got. I mean, you don't have to, I guess, but it'll make a lot more sense if you see some of the others.
I'm going Friday.
I'd
matinee.
like to. Huh?
I'm going Friday for a matinee.
Oh, good. Have a good time.
All right, go fuck yourself very much. Then.
Ledger says, "Oh, I thought Ravenshadow was just naming the types of heroin that he shoots. Comics, yeah, that makes more sense."
What Angel does?
And then Ledger also said to me, "Wolfie, shut up, MZ, before he hurts his credibility even more than it's already been hurt." I don't know. That's not possible.
I was very surprised by your review. Aside from the Captain America stuff, you.
But I knew he would
Well,
like it,
it was
and
a
that's
very
why it bothered
vague.
me.
It's a very vague review. I mean, comparison to what anybody else has ever said about it. I mean,
So-
it's a very vague review.
You
but-
like it,
but I did like
nice.
it.
That's
I
good. That's
did
good.
enjoy it. It was fun.
I'm
So MZ,
What?
the real question is, Raiders of the Lost Ark or Avengers?
Avengers, easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So here's the question.
I disagree, but
I had a much better time watching the Avengers than watching Indiana Jones and the
after two,
Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever it is.
so after two now, if I recommend a movie to you that you wouldn't normally watch, would you give it a try? Because you fought me
Maybe,
for years
maybe.
on Raiders. And
Well,
Avengers.
why? What do you have up your sleeve?
Nothing.
Space Chips.
Hey!
Dunstan checks in.
Everyone watches Space Chips or Dunstan checks in.
all right, we have to wrap this up because we have to go to the movie review so we can get to our interview at 10:30. But before that, really quickly, Ravenshadow. So if you like to use Amazon, you can go ahead to trickortreatradio.com, click on the link for Amazon. Use everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us.
Oh shit.
Doesn't cost you any extra.
But it helps keep the lights on. And
Here.
we get a little bit of a cut from it.
Yeah, it helps keep our lights on,
yeah,
not
yeah.
How
Amazon's.
many
Or-
purchases do
or
people have
yours.
to make to make the lights like just even a little brighter?
A lot.
Vagina Dog in the back. Why don't you buy some
Vagina
DVD
Dog.
box sets?
And also, if you're into streaming, whether it be live video like we're doing, if you're into streaming your games, anything like that, go check out XSplit
XSplit.
for all your streaming needs. Those guys are the best. They have some really fucking awesome software. Check this out. We got all kinds of stuff going on if you're watching the live stream.
Font.
Ooh, look at this. We can, do all sorts of stuff. We can do that. We can, we can get Jean-Claude Van Damme in here again. Let's get him up in this piece
He's not gonna
real
come
quick.
here. We can't get Jean-Claude Van.
We could get him.
Whoa. He's hurt. Jean-Claude, you all right?
You heard what MonsterZero said about Captain America?
Yeah. Well, he's from Canada. No, where's he from? He's
Yeah,
from
he's
Brussels.
from Canada. Excellent work.
Is the
So-
muscle from Brussels?
Oh, shit.
Oh, Der Samurai.
Yeah.
He's Der Samurai.
That's a fucking movie right there.
He announced on Conan a couple days ago that he's going to do a kickboxer too.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Still kicking.
How awesome is
Oh,
that?
shit, he's got a gun.
And he better dance in that movie.
I hope he goes back to the Kumite.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
what I want. I want a blood sport dose.
What about Lionheart too?
I like Lionheart. I like any movie. Like, it's hard for me to not like a movie with Van Damme in it, but any movie at all that has a tournament of some kind, I'm down. Like, it doesn't matter how good it is or bad it is.
Harder target.
Or Sudden Death. That has no tournament, but that's awesome. All right, so we need to cut to a break. So Ravenshadow,
Yes.
for somebody out there, let's say they're going to sit down, they're going to watch Der Samurai when it becomes available on VOD.
Yeah.
What would you recommend that they do?
Go to your dad's house, borrow his weed whacker because yours is broken. Do the hedges, and then it's getting hot out, so don't use the oven once you get some takeout. And since I mentioned it's getting hot out, just go in the shed, pull up the boxes, and get the fans. Turn those fans on. Take some lorazepam and strap on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electro-shock band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
My name's Jason Voorhees from Camp Crystal Lake. And since I only ever kill people that had sex, all those little virgins on the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group have nothing to fear from me. They're too busy talking about horror movies, comics, video games, RPGs, and all the disgusting, dumb, nerdy stuff that those boys on the Trick or Treat Radio podcast talk about. They'll never have any time to meet a girl, and if they do meet a girl, she'll just be as dorky as them. That's right, the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook page has tons of girls on it. Well, 4 or 5, get 3. A few girls, all right? Now get off my back. They only gave me $50 to do this promo. So go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, join the group, and start talking nerd. When the show ends, the discussion just begins. Copyright. Fuck you, Michael Ravenshadow.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio. Oh, yeah! We're playing a little Deadites, 13 Evil Bastards in the background there. We have 4 evil bastards in the studio. We're the other 9. All right, so we are going to review the film Der Samurai. Our friends over at Artsploitation Films allowed us to watch I guess it's they gave us an advanced screening link of it online. So we got to see this ahead of time, and it'll be coming out on, let me get the date here, June 9th. So we're just under a month away from this film being released on Blu-ray. Yeah. And I don't know if it's going to hit, I think it's going to hit VOD as well. But this is the first of a few films that we're going to do from Artsploitation. There's some really awesome folks over there, and they got a really cool lineup of films coming out. Definitely stuff that is of interest to us and any of our listeners out there. Definitely on the cutting edge of that sort of like, I guess you'd say, art house, horror,
I'm gonna steal,
bizarre, surrealistic.
I'm going to steal the tagline of one of my favorite podcasts, The Fist of Cult Cinema.
Okay.
But it's definitely applicable when describing this the mission statement of this film company, and
Yep.
I think it's where the art house meets the grindhouse.
Yeah, I think that's really good, actually. So we'll steal that from Sophisticult. Is that what that one was?
Yep.
Yeah.
John Snars, John Shelton.
Oh yeah. Okay. So there you go. So Artsploitation was kind enough to send us along a preview link so we could check this out. So we got to see it ahead of time, and we're gonna give our honest take on this. They're not they just said here's our film, review it, and we're doing that. So about Der Samurai, let's go ahead and I'm going to read the
How much did you have to lie about anybody that's on the panel? Like, were they like, does everyone on the panel know geography? Does anyone on your show just hate people because they're from somewhere different?
or their sexual orientation.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We didn't say we were talking about anyone here, Ravenshadow. Why are you getting defensive?
Yeah.
Why are you texting?
I'm fucking promoting.
Okay.
You're getting nervous. Don't get
I'm
nervous.
fucking. It's gonna be a bumpy samurai.
Jesus
I spell
Christ.
ride. How about samurai?
There you go, Samurai. So, Der Samurai from 2014. It is unrated, 79 minutes long. It is listed as a fantasy horror thriller on IMDb and is directed by Till Kleinert, also written by Till Kleinert. And it's been a while since I butchered names, so here we go.
It's been a while.
It's been about a week.
Stars Mikkel Dirks, Pitt Bukowski, Uwe Price, Kaja Blacknick. I'll skip that one and go with
I would have stopped.
Helmut Schmutz.
I would have stopped at Bukowski.
Bukowski, yeah. Christopher Kane. There we go. I'll just say
Hey,
that one.
there's a name for you can pronounce.
Exactly.
Christoph Waltz.
No.
No.
That's Baltz.
Adolf Jones.
And I don't really like
Don't hate Ravenshadow's president. It's not his waltz.
I'm going to read the synopsis from Artsploitation site because I like this one. Unlike any other horror film you'll see this year, Der Samurai is a German mindbender about shape-shifting cross-dressers, bloody decapitations, repressed sexual desires, and small-town life. But while director Till Kleinert's film is a surreal mix of dark comedy and eerie creep-out that recalls David Lynch, Jakob is a policeman in a village deep in the woods where little happens. Jakob is tracking the wolf, only to discover that the lupine lurker is actually a man clad only in lipstick and a lady's slip, and toting a samurai sword that he uses to lop off the heads of the townspeople, including Jakob's tormentors.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, jeez. Artsploitation.
At least let's put it in a song.
I'm gonna stop there. The synopsis on IMDb was kind of rough. I think it was
You
just
should have stopped.
You
at
should have
Bukowski.
You should have went with IMDb.
yeah, because it doesn't make any sense because I think it's translated from German.
What does
so-
it say?
It says a wolf strives through the woods around an isolated German village. Jakob, the young local police officer, is onto him, but senses something more in the darkness. What he finds is a man, it seems, wild-eyed, a wiry build in a dress. He carries a katana, a samurai sword. When the samurai invites Jakob to follow him on his crusade towards the village, it becomes Jakob's mission to pursue the lunatic to end this wanton destruction.
Boston soup.
You guys like that?
Yeah.
At the end of the night, Jakob has experienced too much, is too far.
Stop.
Q-Buster.
Yeah, no,
Q-Buster.
they just
Yeah.
all these are like, and then this happened.
And then this, yeah.
You read 2 synopses and it gave away the whole fucking film.
And it all
No,
works out.
it didn't.
Which at the end of the day is kind
All
of
right, now let's bring up Buster.
in German. Synopsis means play by play.
So I just want to read something real quick about the director because this is a pretty young dude. He was born in 1980, so I guess he's not super young, but he's
Younger than us.
younger than us. Yeah, Till Kleinert was born in Berlin. In his youth, he drew comics and made videos of stop motion films. Later, after civilian service in 2001, he interned at the Berlin Theater, and for a short time was a sausage vendor. That explains a lot. No. He studied at the German Film and Television Academy Berlin from 2004 to 2014, graduating with Der Samurai. This was his basically his thesis was this film. His other award-winning films include the shorts Dog Food, Cowboy, Cocoon, and Boys Village. Since 2005, he is part of the filmmakers collective Schattenkante. It's probably not saying that right. So, once again, I just want to say, if you're interested in this film, it does come out on June 9th, and it'll be available on Amazon, actually. We'll post the link on the page on trickortreatradio.com, so go ahead and click on 146, and you'll find a link to pre-order or buy if it's released when you're hearing this. And you can also get additional information from artsploitationfilms.com/der-samurai. And you can get the DVD, the Blu-ray, you can see trailers, all sorts of stuff. So go check this out on Artsploitation Films and also on Amazon. All right, let's get into this film now. So this is an interesting film. This definitely has some surrealism to it. It's a very short film. It's like 79 minutes, and to me, it moved along really quickly. And how do we start with this one? I don't want to say too much because the synopsis is already.
Well, it's established early on that Jacob is sort of like the town, like mockery.
Yeah,
like everyone,
village idiot.
Yeah, like everyone except for his sort of heading towards mentally disabled grandmother gives him the high hat.
Yeah. They see him as a joke, and he really does look the part too. Because I mean, he's rather milquetoast looking. Rather, he's very, very young. Doesn't look like he's got much fight in him at all. But the actor who plays him beautifully.
It reminded me a little bit of Wolf Cop a little bit in the beginning. Kind of like the town doesn't respect his authority.
Well, that guy didn't deserve to be respected.
Yeah.
This was just.
Well, yeah, but you're saying from similar.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see some similarities. I mean, totally
different movies.
Totally different movies that involve,
one happened to be
cops.
yeah, exactly. Small.
One's
similarity.
Wolf Cop. This one's Cop and Wolves.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I think the other thing that is very interesting about the first part of this is that there is like, is it ever like brought out that there's like some sort of like related relationship between him and the head of the moped ruffians? Because they look very similar, and there seems to be, whether they used to be friends or something like that, there's a nice undercurrent of established relationship there where Jacob cares about the leader of this gang, but the leader of the gang just treats Jacob like a piece of shit all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they didn't delve too deeply into that, but there definitely was some history there that, whenever they showed them both, you could see that the way they were acting, there was something there.
There was a history. There is some tension involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
and never, like you said, it never dives into what that is, and it doesn't even matter really.
Right. So my first impression was this film was shot incredibly well.
Yes.
I love the look of it. And one of the things I like was this film wasn't, I mean, whether it was, this is a young filmmaker, I don't know if it just was sort of accidental because of inexperience, but I feel that the way that it was shot, you could see all the color. Like a lot of times now we get films that I don't know what, like, they have some sort of film wash. They have I like them, but let's talk about the DC superhero films, right? Like, those are very clearly have this wash over them to look dark and gritty and you know,
Make you feel bad about yourself.
sure. But and a lot of times you see Hollywood has this sort of template for how a film should look, and they dull down some of the colors, or, you know, as they always talk about, we have the teals and the blues, and it's to like have an actor's face pop off the background or things like that.
I think the way that it looks, I think it, like, while I'm able to understand that it looks cool, the fact that a good example of this, I think, is the Mad Max trailer. Like, it.
That's all teal and blue,
right? Even though it's in like a different world, like
yeah.
it like the color choices doesn't really make it jump out from everything else that was coming out.
I'm sorry. I mean, teal and orange, I think, are the two colors. But,
I was with you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just liked that this it felt like it was the real world. Like it had real colors and it looked very vibrant to me. And I really liked that because it had some pretty cool locations, some of the stuff in the woods. I just appreciated that. And I'm kind of sick of seeing all, and now I'm saying this, there's probably like tons of film wash on this and I'm just not noticing it or something. But I just think it had a good look.
Here's where I don't think maybe it is, because it actually looks dark. And what happens in like Hollywood movies, and even when we were watching that Irish movie a couple weeks ago, that like the dark, you know, a lot of that night look for like day for night. This really looked like night.
Yeah.
You know, and it really looked dark in the houses, in the dark office towards the end when he was in his own house playing cards with his grandmother. It all looked like ambient lighting. It all really looked like real light.
Very natural.
The other thing, the next point I want to make was that this film, the lighting, some of the lighting I think in this was very challenging to do, because there was a lot of scenes in the woods where it was really dark, but I thought the characters were lit perfectly. So clearly somebody knew how to light, because and I imagine they were a pain in the ass to light correctly.
Sure, with fire going on and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but there was some really impressive lighting in this, and
we were talking last week about lighting for character.
Yeah.
And I think the probably best example I've seen of this in a long time is the samurai, because every time you showed, like, he would come out of the darkness, literally.
Yeah.
He would be like with his face in the fire, but the shadow would like cover him like perfectly. Like, you know, his lighting was met with menace and playfulness when it was, and you know what I mean? Like, and my favorite bit of lighting was when there's a part when he was chained to the fence there.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like he was lit very normally then, almost like the magic had been taken out of him temporarily.
Yeah, and I that's one thing I didn't pick up on too much, but I think you might be right. Is I think there may have been something to some of the lighting aside from the fact that it looked great. So definitely kudos to the director Till Kleinert, whether it was him responsible or the director of photography, who else he had working on this. It's definitely very well. Technically, this is a really well shot film. So we sort of advance through the film. We see this dude Jakob, and he's doing his thing. He's a cop. He's sort of the village idiot. Nobody seems to really respect him, it seems. And then he's trying to track down this wolf. Like he's going to the butcher and getting meat and putting it out in the forest in a bag to try to I think what he's trying to do is to try to get the wolf not to kill other dogs and to go after the meat. That's what it seemed like to me. I don't know.
City.
Yeah, right. I don't know if he was trying to trap it necessarily or just try to keep it out of the city.
Diversion tactic.
He didn't have a killer instinct. Like that was his fault versus his job anyway.
And he had many chances to prove himself.
Yeah, and so he gets this. I can't remember exactly the chain of events, but so he gets this package in the mail, and he's supposed to deliver it to somebody. It's kind of it was kind of weird, right? Like,
yeah,
we don't know exactly how he got this package or why it was sent to him or any of that. But he gets this package. He talks to the person who the package is for, and they ask him to deliver it for him. And then we see this woman who we suspect is a woman
From the back.
with very broad shoulders. Definitely not a woman. After a few seconds, you can tell.
Hands.
It's Adam's apple.
Adam's apple.
Yeah. It's definitely a dude who's wearing a slip, I guess, or a dress. I don't know what you call it, but
I would say the best description of this character is that it looks like Kurt Cobain and the Joker had a baby.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
some Heath Ledger vibe kind of going.
I
on.
think Carmen Infanto.
Really? Because
I think-
I was thinking
yeah.
Willem Dafoe myself.
yeah.
it's pretty good though. I do like the Joker and Kurt Cobain as much as I dislike him.
He was
I think
more
that's a good
attractive than
reference.
Willem Dafoe in Boondock Saints, I'll tell you that much, when he was in drag.
But not sexier than him in Antichrist.
I was thinking a little bit Buffalo Bill in drag. Well, maybe we saw that before.
Oh, word.
Oh, right. Was she a big Dur Samurai?
Was she a great big shoulder lady?
Oh wait, did Charlotte Gainsbourg smash his cock with a brick?
Oh, wait.
One thing I will say about this film, and I felt this way all throughout, this film had fucking amazing atmosphere.
Yeah.
The combination of the score with the way it was shot, like we're watching
Yeah.
it here in studio, just the slow camera movements. There's something. This film is dripping with atmosphere.
Yeah.
It has an abundance of it, and I love this score. This score might be up there in my top scores of the year so far.
I would say this, in my opinion, is like to encapsulate everything that is about this film from a visual point of view.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second best looking movie that I've seen this year. Now,
Next to Lost River, right?
yeah. Now that if you want to know, if you want to go back and listen to the Lost River review before you feel bad about that, like,
And a girl walks home alone at night.
That's true.
You got to put that up there, too.
that's a great movie,
Yeah.
but like.
You could also tell what time of day it was by the shot.
In this film.
Yeah.
Yep.
You knew what, it has that. This is that morning, the nighttime scenes at dusk was when you were playing out, riding your bike, come home, the streetlights come on. You know what I mean? Like to taking it back, you felt like that was a day in the life. Right?
I think so, yeah. And another thing, on top of the score, I thought the sound design in this was phenomenal.
The sound design was awesome
Yeah,
in this movie.
There was just some moments where I'm like, I typically don't remark about sound design because it's one of those things that if it's done right, you just don't really notice it. But in this case,
Plus, how you watch the film affects it. If you sat and watched this on your laptop,
Sure.
you wouldn't get the full grasp
Yeah.
of it.
but I think this is one you may get a full grasp of no matter how you listen to it, unless you're listening to it on like a puny little speaker or something like that.
Yeah,
But
no, this sounded great. This movie did.
there's forest sounds, there's dogs, there's wolves, there's lots going on in almost every scene, and I think that everything was just mixed perfectly as far as the sound design goes. So that's something I typically don't really remark on all that often, but I think this was really effective. The sound design was fantastic in this. One of the other things I want to mention is this film, about halfway through the film, I was just watching it and I was really sort of on the edge of my seat. Figuratively, not literally, but this film felt dangerous to me. Did any of you guys get that feeling? I didn't know where this film was taking me. It was almost like I was on this ride. I have no fucking clue where it's taking me. And it felt dangerous.
No, I never felt that it was dangerous, but I did feel that it like you mentioned it in one of the synopses before about how it's very Lynchian, and it is very Lynchian.
MonsterZero just swept in and supported my point before I could even make it. Here's the thing, Wolfie. You and we're all you and I are very like men of today, right? Like I feel like we're the right amount of, in our views, like liberal and conservative, like we're real life human beings. Like we live off emotion, not off necessarily.
What the
opinions.
hell are we, piles of shit?
No, but you're.
But
And I think what happens is like much like Clive Barker used to do this to me when I was young, and like body politics were very important at the time because you didn't know, you only knew what the way you should feel about things were always informed by the ignorant, right? And what this movie did brilliantly, I think, is kind of brought me anyway back to that point where things that don't they presented things that don't make me uncomfortable socially in a way that they made me uncomfortable because they made some of these gender politics and issues of sexuality very, very alien. You know, they presented them in a way that they managed through lighting and good writing. It presented them in a way of how Jacob saw them and not how we would see them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they were confusing to this backwoods like person, and they were alien. So if it was not presented properly, these things wouldn't have been effective because those aren't the type of things that would bother a modern person. You know, like I think that most people are way past those the hang-ups on those like gender politics and sexuality and you know, someone whose sexuality and gender politics are contradictory to yours. And I think that that's what you're touching upon there. I think that they took these things that are everyday parts of our lives and made them alien and evil and awful not because they are, but that's the way our protagonist, who's very confused about these politics, feels they are.
Well, to me, it was more, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but for me, it was the atmosphere, and I had no idea where this film was going to go.
That I agree with as well.
That's the thing that really, I think, to me, felt dangerous was this film could go in any direction. I just, it's like a haunted house in a way where, okay, now I'm halfway through. I haven't got scared yet, but who knows what's around the next corner. You know, that's sort of the feeling that I got with this film was, I don't know where it's taking me, and it could be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
How far is it going to go?
And
because you know what I mean, like it's you know, this is not a joke, but you know, it's a German flick, art house. You know, it's trying to do something different. So like, how far could this go? And the idea that it could go in crazy realms. You're waiting for that.
I think the other thing about this is that there's an element of this film where I think that we'll probably talk about whether it was executed properly shortly, where just you and I's opinions on it make me realize that I'm right, because there is an element where this plays really good without a lot of the stuff that they how can I say this without spoiling? Without a lot of the
innuendo.
Yeah, well, innuendo's not bad, but without like innuendo is exactly what it is, Ravenshadow. But like I'm trying to think of like without a lot of the plot points or it's not subtext. Without a lot of the extra stuff that they put in here to kind of make this movie unique, I think it played very well on a very Lynchian level, as is. You know what I mean? Without any of the subtext, without any of the punchlines, I guess. I think it played very, very well, or could have played very, very well, just of innocent backwoods cop dealing with this strange woodsman.
Right. And I guess the thing for me, like this, I don't necessarily disagree with the Lynch reference. This, I never thought Lynch at all while watching this film, but now hearing people say that, I'm like, okay, I could see that, because like we're watching a scene right now where Jakob is talking on the phone to Der Samurai, and just the way it's slow, like the camera's slowly moving into his face, and it just, I think it creates this uneasy atmosphere that I was referring to. But it's also because we have no idea where this film is going to go, and a lot of times in Lynch films, that's sort of that's his MO in a way. You don't know where he's going to take you, and I think that his films can feel what I said before, dangerous, where because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, that's how I felt about when I was watching this film. Another film popped into my head that made me realize, okay, maybe this is taking a couple of ideas from this, and that's Suspiria. And Suspiria it is have a lot in common. They're very nightmarish, very dreamlike, very Baroque. There's a lot of close-ups of just items like we saw just now of the telephone cord, the sweeping line of the telephone cord. I mean, that's very Argento-like. And I just felt that along with the sound design, like you mentioned before, Wolfie, it just brings together just an incredible atmosphere it's really hard to shake. I'm not going to say it's dangerous, but it is hard to shake.
Okay. Ravenshadow, what did this, I guess when you were watching this film, what did you feel that's that way? Did you not feel? I'm wondering how this film made you feel when you were watching it.
Yeah, a little roused.
Jesus Christ.
We
haven't got to the end yet.
Little movement. And I'm not I get David Lynch. I'm not the biggest David Lynch fan in the world.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, maybe I'm in the minority, but I think, it's a David Lynch film, and that's like a cop-out. It can be wacky. Like Grant Morrison. It doesn't have to make sense because it's fucking Grant Morrison. Only he knows the story. This seemed more precise to me. So I would echo the dangerous thing where I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
At one point, I thought that Der Samurai and the cop were going to team up and go on adventures together, which I kind of wanted.
Yeah.
There's going to be a buddy cop film.
Yeah, I'm kind of with this,
one director who this movie really visually, not all the time, but certainly the early morning scenes and some of the indoor scenes reminded me of Tim Hunter, who was a great director in the 80s, but I feel like he got sucked into being a career TV guy, and
during the Books of Magic,
that was the last that you
Books of Magic.
he even directed a bunch of episodes of Sisters of Anarchy or whatever that show you like over there is. But I mean, he directed just about everything. A lot of procedural sort of stuff, and a lot of he definitely when FX started, he definitely got in a lot of that. He did a lot of nip tuck, but what I think even normies might know him as is the early Keanu Reeves vehicle, The River's Edge.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
It's no Brotherhood of Justice.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah, so I feel like if you go and watch, a lot of that, like the way he shot the woods and the way he shot the kind of very mundane things and made them look like sinister at times. And also, I feel another director who I don't know if it's an influence or not, but it really looked like it is more for his cinematography work. I always say this guy's name wrong, but Barry Sonnenfeld, who made some shitty movies of a director, but he shot some phenomenal movies, including Miller's Crossing, which I feel like scenes like this, for instance, just jump off and really remind me of his work that he did with the Coen brothers.
Maybe we're going a little too far with this, comparison, but for me, in watching it now and talking about directors, I actually get a bit of a Guillermo del Toro feel to it. I have a feeling
that's interesting
that Till Kleinert might be inspired by him. Just the shot composition.
I feel like he's almost the opposite.
I think it's the shot composition
that's
that
fair.
really.
But the the sort of
okay,
very
Bill by force.
neat, well, no, it's the sort of very neat. Right? Oh, that is fair. The sort of very neat lighting here. I feel like Del Toro, and I don't know if he shoots his own films or who his cinematographer is, but I feel like they're lit always, even mundane things are lit outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is lit. This is lit in the same way that Tarantino's dialogue is. Like, nobody really talks like that, but you kind of feel like that's how people talk because it's so tangential and anecdotal.
Well, like I said, the big thing I was talking about was shot composition.
Yeah, I can see that too. Like that's a perfect example right there.
Yeah.
Of the box in the foreground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. It reminded me a little bit of Devil's Backbone and maybe Pan's Labyrinth with not the fantastical elements, but the more sort of real world.
Yeah, and I would say also Devil's Backbone is probably his most realistically shot.
Yeah, and one of his best.
Yeah,
yes,
it's brilliant.
Absolutely
Brilliant, yeah. So we unfortunately, I think we could talk for a while about this film. We have about 20 minutes before we have to get to our interview with Joshua. So I want to start to wrap up because I do want to do a bit of a spoiler section for this. So
you have to.
Yeah, before we get to that, does anyone have anything else we want to discuss about the film in general?
No.
One of the other things I did want to call out actually is So I think it's Pit Bukowski who played Der Samurai. Some of the very subtle facial expressions I thought were fucking perfect.
Amazing.
Because Der Samurai doesn't really have too many lines, but
He doesn't need them.
No, it's the delivery, the way that some of these scenes are delivered, and the facial expressions I thought were perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very Del Toro right there. I'm with you now, Wolfie.
Yeah, that's just what, like, shot composition. That's it. Not talking about lighting or anything else like that.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, when you watch him, and there's a lot of close-ups of Der Samurai's face in this movie, and it's almost though as if the director is telling you that he's speaking to you through his eyes and through his facial expressions, and where his dialogue is minimal. So the director makes up for it by saying, "All right, he's going to tell you what's going on in his mind through his eyes,
His facial
through
expressions,
his facial
and the eyes, yeah.
and it says a ton about him. This guy's fucking off his rocker,
And even like his Spider-Man poses, animalistic poses
definitely.
on the fence and stuff. Like, it's so funny for if you haven't seen the movie. Like Dan almost said, picture Heath Ledger and Kurt Cobain in drag with a samurai sword.
But I don't think Heath Ledger.
Yeah, well, I
Iggy
right.
Pop.
I said Heath Ledger, so that's what I'm thinking. Is Heath Ledger?
No.
I think Heath Ledger took Kurt Cobain, so I think that's probably where you're getting it.
No, it's what I said. It looks like Heath Ledger and Kurt Cobain in drag. And
But they
I'm
look the
very
same.
calculated.
Why don't we
But
say?
Heath Ledger
Why
and
don't
Kurt
I just
Cobain.
keep on with what I'm saying?
Why don't we say the
what
joke?
you're saying is dumb.
Hush,
Why don't we say
hush.
the
Eat
Joker?
Eat your mo's.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yet he's fucking masculine in drag. Like, he's very androgynous. Like, I don't know. He's something else. He becomes his own character, which was interesting. You know what I mean? It's like Prince. Prince ain't the most masculine man in the world. You put a fucking guitar in his hand, a motherfucker's 6'5".
I love that shot.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I fucking love that shot. The train scene.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've established that he looks like that one thing that looks like that, and that other thing that looks exactly like that. So we're good there.
I don't know what that means.
It means that Heath Ledger's Joker looked like Kurt Cobain.
Jesus
whatever,
Christ.
dude.
We're harping on this
like,
one
dude,
stupid
like-
thing.
Like, dude.
Like
What about the scene where he fucking beat up the bird? That's what I want to talk about.
Flamingo.
My favorite line.
Flamingo, yeah.
He's dead. He's faking. I fucking lost it. And then he stabbed the window and the fucking baby cried.
Yep.
That's sad.
Yeah, they're
There's
not
this-
coming out.
There's this one scene where Der Samurai wants Jakob to beat up a flamingo lawn ornament, and he just punches it. He starts fucking breaking it, and it's this moment of levity that up until this point we have what's pretty tense. We have this chase, and Der Samurai's going on this crusade, and Jakob is chasing after him, and then we have this moment of levity that was just perfectly placed. These scenes we're watching right now where he's chasing Jakob's chasing Der Samurai through the woods, the way those are lit are perfect.
They're gorgeous.
This John Carpenter scene right here is actually really probably more effective than I've seen Carpenter even do it.
Yeah.
Just the samurai coming out of the darkness,
Yeah.
It's just a really, really great eye.
Yeah.
All my bad things about this movie is spoilery. So
I mean, they're not. I mean, and it's not. They're not. They're not to the point of being chair jumpers. They're much below that, actually. But it's the intensity that the director brings to when it happens. It's almost like a subtle chair jump, I guess you could say.
It's because
It's
he's
amazing.
not doing jump scares. He's ratcheting up tension.
Yeah.
And he's not filming things in a way that once, in scenes like this, once he has his tension where he wants it, he's only turning it up. It's like a volume dial. He's not turning it up to blow
He's
your
very
ears
subtle
out so
about
you
it.
jump. He's turning it up so there's a variance in the scenery or in the noise or whatever else, but not so much so that he is taking you out of the film. Because the important part of this type of tension is that it's the simmering.
Yeah. There's a certain subtlety involved. I can tell there's a certain subtlety involved. It's very nice.
So I guess we'll take this opportunity now because we could talk. There's a lot more we could say about this film, but we are starting to get into spoilery territory. We can only go so far with this film. So once again, this film is not available yet. So if you're really excited to check this out, you may want to fast forward through our spoiler section because, you haven't seen this film yet, and you should see it because we all so far it sounds pretty positive. We'll wait till we get to the verdict, but I think this is one, if you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, you may want to turn the volume down, skip through it or whatever. So let's go ahead and do the spoiler music, and let's talk about some of the spoilery stuff in this film.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
Verbal taint is Kaiser Sosa.
Warning.
Danny Noonan sinks the final putt in Caddyshack.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
Butch throws the fight in Cult Fiction.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
All right, spoiler time. So
Actually, he won the fight, like battling Matt Murdock. He screwed him the other way.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I was with you.
He was supposed to throw the fight, but he won.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, it was a nice try.
this scene's fucking great too. There's so many good scenes in this film.
Yeah.
All right, so one thing I wanted to bring up, it wasn't. I'm curious what you guys, if you guys thought this at all. When we were watching this film, about halfway through, T-Dog said, "Der Samurai is Jakob."
What? Yo.
Yeah.
Ravenshadow, what the fuck?
So we're looking at a Tyler Durden situation.
Yeah.
Can I just say, for spoiler, I'm sorry, very excited. When he had the samurai sword and the cops were coming in the morning, when at 4 in the morning, it was morning time, I fucking thought that.
So it's not too thinly veiled. It's not like it's like hidden, because there's a couple scenes where, because the other cop calls him and he's like, are you running around in a dress? There's a couple things like this that just allude to the fact that maybe it is Jakob.
The biggest tell is that his grandmother is afraid of him.
Yes. You're very right. That was probably the biggest one.
That whole situation went through my mind a couple of times, and I thought, I don't know.
No, it was him.
But at the end,
the more I think about it, the more you guys talk about it,
but the thing is, at the end, I wasn't sure. That's the thing. Like I was convinced. I'm like, okay, T-Dog must be right, because there's so much evidence leading to that. And then toward the end, I was like, actually, I'm not sure if it is.
The next most famous film that played this, next to Fight Club, probably being High Tension.
High Tension, yeah, I knew.
Which also dealt with
that ruined it for me, though.
Yeah, which also dealt with similar genre politics.
Yep.
I feel the same thing about this that I felt about that. Like, I feel like that level of it, that gloss, wasn't necessary and almost distracting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it worked so well as I feel like it was real. This was really, and this isn't of how I feel, but to be blunt about it, this was a really interesting movie, in a movie I've never seen before, when it was about big city maniac dealing with a pacifist cop that didn't know how to deal with it properly. This being the story of Jacob's id trying to pull out his killer instinct and trying to it's not as interesting because A, that's a very mythical story, and B, we've seen that to varying degrees throughout Hollywood over and over again. And I say Hollywood, I mean the pictures. I don't really mean Hollywood.
The pictures.
But I think that I don't think it needed it. I think that's the most blunt way. If I had any say at all, and I obviously don't, in the American or, Brian making movies in Rhode Island doesn't listen to anything I say, so why should dudes making movies in Germany? But if anybody had asked me, I would have said, you have a masterpiece here with its weirdness and simplicity. Like, this other element that you're trying to add into it, is just distracting. Or that you did add into it, is just distracting. And I also feel like we don't not know if it was from ambiguity.
Thank
you.
Yep.
We don't know what it was, I think, because of lack of execution. That's my take on it. Because they definitely did some things in here, much like High Tension, to make you think that it couldn't be. Like when he was riding with the policeman.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I think that, you know, like, it just didn't. It didn't have to be that way. You didn't have to do it. It didn't have to be that way. That's what I think. It might be somebody else's favorite part of it, but I think that it's better as a far be it from straightforward, but straightforward narrative.
Now, after saying all this about how it's possible that their samurai was Jakob,
I think it kind of is supposed to be.
in dealing with Jakob's homophobia, his apparent of homophobia, does that equate to the fact that that's the reason why we see their samurai done up in a dress, in lipstick, to have him combat that?
Well, I think it was Freud who basically in layman terms said that most homophobic people are latent homosexuals because they're having it's a defense mechanism in dealing with not knowing how, you know, like I said, like you're not supposed to be that way, so you hate that side of yourself.
Right.
It's funny though. I didn't see some of their cat and mouse games as necessarily gender specific. I kind of saw it as two hunters. I don't know. I think
it worked as I think it was that was definitely there too.
You know, more like if you wanted to equate it like the Anne Rice, you know, vampires, how they don't see gender, they just see beautiful. You know, like I don't know. I didn't.
But
see
there
them
was
as,
but there was the dance in the way he talked.
Yeah, but then there's this scene
He
that
talked
we're
about
looking at
them
right now,
making
where,
a physical connection in the fictional club and stuff like that.
but then
definitely.
there's this scene here where you got Jakob helping out the pretty lass in the car, and then she gives him a ride into town, and he starts making out with him. He
right,
starts
because
making
he's
out
trying
with her,
to,
rather.
But that was
because he
his-
has these
Right, he's trying to-
conflicting emotions.
Right, exactly.
Right.
That's exactly it.
I mean, on one hand, I kind of saw the dance as, listen, I can't fucking beat this guy. I got to get in close to be able to, you know, take him down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was there too, and it was definitely like he out loud said buying time.
Yeah.
But I think by then, the samurai or the wolf had taken on a more mythical side to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, the second biggest tell is when the wolf or the samurai told him that he failed when the police came and he didn't have to kill him.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the samurai, I think, was to unleash his killer instinct and his inner self, and not be ashamed, like be brazen in those gender politics. And I think that's why he said he failed. Like, I took you on this journey, like killing me, it was where you won, you know, or maybe it could be interpreted that killing him was permanently suppressing that part of his wanton lifestyle and bringing up, you know, like making him like what he assumed was a normal human, like killing the violent urges and the like, you know, because for somebody say they never bring in any sort of religion into this, but you know, from a strictly, you know, Christian Catholic point of view, homosexuality is as much of a sin as killing. So like him, you know, whether it's him supposed to be him embracing that side of him, that violent and that, you know, potentially homosexual side, or him destroying it so that he can be like a whole person. I think that, you know, the point of that character was to bring one of those two things out. I think the fact that, now I could be wrong, Wolfie may think different, you guys may think different. I think the fact that we don't know is a fault in execution and not a fault in I was in my head trying to think of a really good example of a film that executes it perfectly, and I was unable to, but like, that's my opinion. I think the reason that at least I'm not saying what side of that it is more of execution than ambiguity.
Okay, two things real quick. Yes, taking it back to a line early in the film when, I forget the guy that tells him, he's like, you know, why are you feeding the wolf? And what happens when you don't feed the wolf?
Yeah.
That line, and then the fact that the girl called him Lonely Wolf, and like, why'd you call me that?
Yep.
You know, at one point I almost thought he was going to transform into a beast.
There were parts, whether it was lighting or if you had told me that it was the same actor at the end a couple times, I wouldn't have not. I would have believed you because there were some times when I felt like they almost swapped faces. But you know, this was a case of perfect casting too, because like we're watching Jacob walk up the road right now, and like he couldn't look more like clichély bright-eyed and optimistic. Yeah. And I think that's like you know, another thing that you know, great casting and great costuming and great makeup and great lighting are the unheralded shorthand that great directors use to build compelling characters.
One of the things I want to point out before we end the spoiler segment here is apparently the director, Till Kleinert, had said that one of his major influences for this film was the Hitcher.
Oh, shit. See Thomas Howell like a motherfucker.
Do you guys see any, now knowing that, do you see any similarities between this and the Hitcher?
I haven't seen The Hitcher in years.
Yeah, I haven't
years.
either. That's why I asked.
I can't.
I think that this is certainly more subtle than that, but...
So, and apparently this was also, I think I mentioned this earlier, but the director mentioned that this was just a master thesis project. If this is just a master thesis project,
Jeepers creepers,
and if he gets to get some funding and to make a you know, legit feature, it's almost scary to see what he could do, because this was
his fucking homework.
I think it's going to get traction, because I feel like now in the climate of things, the things that people look towards are the things that are divisive, and I think that this certainly is. If you've been like just on the GGTMC board, I feel like a lot of people dug this, and a lot of people really, really disliked it. I had a really good conversation. I fell asleep, as I do. You know, the sweet texting of Ghetto Tim often is the last thing I do before I fall asleep. You know, discussing films and stuff.
Or Tim from Korea, as we know him on the show.
Right. So I feel like that was, you know, like he had some great ideas. I don't know, because people don't like it, I feel like it's going to almost cause more people to like look at it, you know, because The Guest is a perfect example of a movie that everybody fucking loved and it still got kind of buried.
Yeah.
Lost River is a movie that was very divisive, but it got out. You know what I mean? It escaped.
So we need to wrap this up because we need to head to the verdict and we have to get to the interview in just a few moments. But one last thing, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that fucking when Der Samurai is going against the biker gang and that upside down shot, fucking amazing.
Oh, it was great.
That shot is incredible, and also the final shot, really, when, I guess we're in spoiler territory, so it's okay. But when he chops, when Jakob has the sword and goes after Der Samurai, that scene,
oh my.
The fucking fireworks,
fabulous
geysers, red smoke.
The brajole was flowing.
Oh my God, hugest cock, right? I mean, come the fuck on.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
God bless you, Der Samurai, because that was like.
Yeah. What does he need a samurai sword when he's got that thing lugging around?
Jeepers creepers, it had a fucking knee in it.
I'm going to do something that only people that really know me will realize how much of a compliment this is on a performance.
Nice.
But with the exception of
Ryan Gosling.
his accent. No, Ryan Gosling's still my Batman. With the exception of his accent, the actor who played the wolf/samurai, I'd have him cut his hair, mind you, but he would be my Joker right now. Like just on aesthetics.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that Mike Patton got kind of old and chubby, like I would have him be my Joker.
It was a huge cock, right? I mean, like, you don't see that at full power.
Comparatively
full
speaking,
power.
I
I
guess.
guess only Under the Skin is the only other film. Oh no, did they have it in The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, or was that just a?
That knocked fucking American Gigolo out the box. I'll tell you that much. Like, I'm just saying.
All right, so we need to end the spoiler, and we're going to go to the verdict portion now.
Widescreen.
MZ?
Oh, I just wanted to mention.
Yep.
Did you guys see the after the credits?
Yeah, the stinger at the end?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
It was nice, yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
What?
Oh, you got to check it out, man.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
What's
No,
a
I had to
stinger?
watch like
You
22
just watch
movies
after
to
the
be on
credits and
Outside
you'll
the
find
Cinema
out.
this week.
A stinger. All right, bring out the bus stuff.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
How did I just come up from there?
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We need to be quick. So let's go around the room and let's get the final verdict.
My rap
Ravenshadow.
name would be Bust a Nut.
Ravenshadow.
Yo, it was fucking, Germans. It was. They were good. They were fine. I really enjoyed this. I would say this was a treat.
All right, I'm a little surprised, just a little bit.
I don't believe him.
That's why I let him go first.
What?
Yeah.
It was a huge cock.
I think we have peer
Jesus
pressure.
Christ.
No, I mean, I liked it. I liked. It reminded me like a hero versus villain. They knew each other. They're doing the dance. Tall, dark, and dead. That's what the postcard said. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of things going on with these guys.
Yeah, you did.
know,
in your dreams after you watched
Kaiser
it.
Soze,
All right,
Tyler Durden. Well, you
said-
fucking
I
busted
said
my
quick.
balls.
I said quick.
I fucking liked it. Treat.
All right.
And you're saying like I don't like it, but I this is why I do like it. Who's that?
That's the end. That's the stinger at the end right there. I just figured I'd jump ahead and show you guys.
Oh, what's he doing?
All right, MZ.
Yeah, this was so much fun, but it was so creepy at the same time, and very subtle in its scares. But man, it like Dynamo said, it ratchets up the tension, and everything about this movie clicked. It's very, very surreal, very nightmarish, and I'm looking forward to seeing this guy's next work. And with any hopes, maybe cast a couple of the guys from this film in a couple of his other features too, because the acting performances were fantastic in this. I love this movie. This was a treat.
Dynamo.
Treat.
All right. For me, also a treat. I really, really enjoyed this film. This is a nice surprise. I was looking forward to seeing it before we had got in touch with Artsploitation, but I'm really glad that we did, because this is one that I didn't want to wait around for. So,
Though I will say there's a masterpiece in here that they dropped the ball on.
okay. But I think the atmosphere created in this film was just top notch. The score, the shot composition, the way it was lit, a lot of things are really technically sound. This film is it's just really well done. There's a lot of interesting things to think about when the film ends, and that's the great part about this film, I think, is it stays with you for a little bit. So this is definitely a treat. We have a treat all the way around. I'm glad we're back to full-on treat. Yeah. So go check out Der Samurai when it becomes available on June 9th. Go ahead, pre-order it on Amazon. Use our link on trickortreatradio.com. We'll also post a link up when the show's released on Friday. We'll have a link to pre-order the Blu-ray. You can go to artsploitationfilms.com. Look for it on there. And definitely support this film and Artsploitation, because we want to see more stuff like this. This is one of those really cool films that I'm glad exists, and it's not going to exist if people don't support it, That's the great thing about this is, I know there's torrents out there. People can watch films a lot of different ways, but, Artsploitation isn't, they're not even Shout Factory. They're not Walt Disney. They're not Warner Brothers, and they're definitely not even Shout Factory. This is a company that, could definitely use support. So if this is a film that you're interested in seeing based on our review, just go ahead and buy the fucking thing. It's get the Blu-ray, the DVD. It's not that expensive.
Use our Amazon link.
Yeah, I said that already. So
Did you?
you can say it again, though.
But no one's fucking doing it.
So
Fucking
nice.
Do
You
it.
can say it twice. Ooh. So that's going to do it for our review of Der Samurai. Go check this film out. It's a fucking blast. It's really well done. And next week, we're going to review the new Arnold Schwarzenegger joint, Maggie. Ooh. I hear you may need to get your tissues ready for this film. Ooh. And I don't mean in a sexy way.
Whoa. I had my tissues ready for Der Samurai, I'll tell you that much.
So
BigInThePants.com as a new sponsor.
Big in the Pants.
It's fucking big, dude. Like, just saying.
Jesus Christ. All right, so next week, we're going to watch Maggie. It is available on video on demand. I think it's also playing in some select theaters right now. I'm surprised it didn't get a wide release, but Go check out Maggie. Come back next week. Join us for the review. If you want to leave your own thoughts, go to trickortreatradio.com and you can leave us a voicemail. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com for an email. At the Deadites to tweet at us. Let us know what you think of Maggie. And we're going to cut to a break. We'll be right back to speak with Joshua Wagner, the director, writer, and producer of The Badger Game.
I love Tree of Life. Terrence Malick. I mean, how could you go wrong?
It's vanity shots.
Knocked Up. One of the best comedies of all time.
Nothing funny about that movie. Well, Joe, I love the remake of The Ring.
That's a joke.
Jaws 2, I mean, was just so much fun.
Who'd put that in their top 10?
And, I mean, come on. Silent Hill, great video game adaptation.
Worst movie ever. Filmforthoughtpodcast.com.
Hello, darlings. It's your favorite whiskey-drinking, litigious, singing, dancing fantasy girl. Want to reach out to me and the world's greatest monster-hunting multimedia organization, the Deadites? Log on to Facebook.com/The Deadites. It's got all the info you need to follow the world's greatest monster-hunting band, like live appearances, info on your favorite Deadite, music, and all the links you need to our new weekly multimedia and all our side endeavors. Too many letters on Facebook? That's okay, sugar. Just follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Deadites. Hope to see you soon, and we'll leave the lights off.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio. We'll wait for Dynamo to get in here before we connect up with Joshua. Let me catch up with the chat room really quickly here. We have Patsy and Ledger hanging out.
Nice.
And Patrick asks, the fuck is Dynamo doing with his cup? And he says, Ravenshadow is Durr Samurai. He said Durr as in D-U-R-R-R.
I think Patsy and Ledger are recreating their own Durr Samurai dance right now. So.
Yeah, we didn't talk enough about that dance.
Is Ledger wearing the dress?
Although it kind of reminds me of like Tiny and Dynamo, like before a show.
So what'd you do, Ravenshadow? You fixed your hair up all nice and pretty now?
Well, we got an interview coming up.
I fluffed it.
Oh, nice, nice. More Tony Manero over here.
All right, you guys.
John Travolta, Vinny Bombaleo.
That's his new name, Vinny Bombaleo. All right, so
we had a serious discussion tonight on OTC about Saturday Night Fever, and all I could think about was this asshole combing his hair.
He hit my hair. I worked in my hair a long time, and he hit my hair.
All right, let's connect up with Joshua Wagner. I'm really interested to talk to him and find out some more about the Badger Game because it looks like a really cool film. So let's do that. Let's get Joshua on the line, and we will speak with him. While Dynamo pours a beverage. What are you drinking, Dynamo?
Black cherry citrus Fresca.
Ooh, Fresca.
That's his
Delicious
fourth can.
And nutritious. Order Fresca by putting in promo code Mars at thefresca.com.
Hey, Joshua.
Hey. Can you see me?
We can.
All right.
Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Is this good with the headphones?
Yep. Yeah, everything sounds great. Awesome. So we are joined by director, writer, producer Joshua Wagner, and he's here to talk. I want to get a good sort of background on your history in films and everything, but we're mostly going to be talking about your upcoming film. Well, actually, just was released on VOD recently, and we want to talk about The Badger Game. So first of all, Joshua, thank you for joining us here on Trick or Treat Radio. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
Awesome. Well, glad you could make it. And first off, I want you to go ahead and I guess give folks out there a little bit of information about the Badger game, because this is a film that just hit VOD last week, right?
Yeah. Well, we did there's an early release, so it's exclusively just on Vimeo right now.
Oh, okay.
VOD, it's going to hit the VOD at June 7th.
Okay, awesome. So people can catch it on Vimeo then if they want to go ahead and catch it early. Go to Vimeo and look for the Badger game, but it looks like it'll be hitting VOD very shortly.
Yeah, it's like there was just this exclusive release that our distributor wanted to do, Stadium Media, just to kind of help give it a boost for when we do release it. I guess it's been helpful in the past for some other projects.
Yeah,
and so we'll see.
Absolutely, very cool. So I guess what I want to do is to go back and let's talk about the genesis of this film. So it was written by yourself and Thomas Zambek. You guys wrote, directed it, and so I want to get what's the history of this? How did this idea come up? Because we unfortunately haven't had a chance to see the film yet, but we are definitely going to watch this film very soon. Hopefully, we can also review it on the show. But the one thing I saw from the trailer is this definitely seems like sort of a genre-bending film. It looks like it has a lot. It sort of touches on a lot of different genres. So was that sort of what you guys had in mind, or did it just sort of happen that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of our, we're film guys. We met in film school. I love every type of movie, comedy or thriller, dramas. And when it comes to writing, we just kind of throw stuff down and kind of practice and see what works. When we did a table read with the actors that we cast, we saw a lot of their personalities could really bring out some of the humor, because we want it to be a little ridiculous and a little over the top too. So we wanted to kind of see what the actors could bring to the table, and then kind of just let the genesis take over during production.
Right. Cool. So one of the things it's funny, we actually reviewed a film last week called The Loft. And so in reading the synopsis of the Badger game, it actually gives me sort of what I had wished The Loft had done. And I think it missed an opportunity to have it sort of be sort of like there was, some I guess some guys who were, not exactly, faithful. Yeah. Boy Scouts are faithful. So one of the things I'd wished, they sort of alluded to that fact that the women may have been involved, and it turned out that it wasn't. It was kind of a letdown, but in this, it looks like what's happening is you have this cheating guy who, and then the woman finds out what happens, and hopefully I'm not spoiling anything here, but this is just based on what I saw in the trailer. So they basically try, a group, her and a group of friends, they wear these animal masks, and they basically kidnap this guy and try to blackmail him because of what he did to her. So that to me seems kind of rewarding based on, what we reviewed last week and what I had hoped to see. But this seems like a really cool setup, and I also really love the look of the characters in the animal masks. It's a very sort of iconic look, especially looking at the poster. It makes for a really great poster. So where did that idea come from? Is that something that just sort of organically came from writing the script, or is that something you guys wanted early on?
The masks, or just...
Yeah, I guess in this sense, the masks is what I'm referring to.
Yeah, we kind of, after we wrapped production, we saw that movie, The Other Woman, come out with the Leslie Mann and Kate Upton, and I forget who else is in that. And that's kind of like, we saw that and we're like, oh shit,
yeah,
here we are, And then also after we, during production, You're Next, we kind of saw a trailer for You're Next, and it's like, of course, as soon as you start, opening up these ideas and going to work with them, other people are doing the same thing at the same time. That's just kind of the way, the human consciousness works, I guess.
Sure.
So we're just glad, when we picked it, when we were looking at the masks, we kind of went for, there was also, what we were thinking of for contrast, one thing, we knew we wanted the movie to be dark. So we knew we wanted the masks to kind of look really cool and contrast each other. And also, we wanted them to kind of go with the characters that are wearing them. You know, you kind of got Kip. He's like the masculine head. You know, head of. He's actually the only one who can communicate. And you know, this isn't giving anything away yet. He's really the only one that can communicate with Liam, the kidnapped victim, because because Liam knows the girls, so they're not, and he, you know, so he doesn't. They don't want to give away that they're who they are, that they're involved.
Right.
So Kip is kind of like used as that vessel to kind of communicate to Liam the plan. So anyway, he's the dog, and then we got a rabbit for Shelley, our very timid and shy character, and so she wears like the rabbit mask. And then we have the frog, and that's given to Jane, who's our sleazy kind of drug addicted stripper character.
Nice.
As a frog, and then we got, you know, Alex, who's the who's kind of like the main the girl who is really hurt by all this, and it's basically her idea to kidnap Liam in the first place. And she's the cat, you know, she's kind of sly, and she's kind of like tiptoeing around, and we just really wanted to, you know, we were trying to find masks that fit their personalities, because to me, you know, the plot is a little secondary. To me, the story is about the characters and how they gel with each other, and that's first and foremost. So you know, we kind of work. You know, we took not a basic plot, but we took, you know, a kidnap story, and we've all seen a kidnap story before.
Sure.
And you always held for ransom, but yeah, we really wanted the masks and the characters to kind of play off of each other and gel like that.
Yeah, and
what masks, you know, and you know, a couple masks we couldn't get the rights for, you know.
Of course, yeah.
A squirrel was one of them, and like a, you know, crow or something.
Yeah. I
Somebody trademark squirrels?
Yeah.
Oh, they must be nuts.
I think the cool thing about it is you basically have these character archetypes, and you're basically summarizing them with you know, with the character that they, or the animal they represent. And I think it's a really effective way of storytelling in a way, you know. And I also don't think the animal mask thing is too overused. I guess if you think about like heist movies or you know, or something like that, they always wear, whether it be ski masks or like, you know, president masks or something like that. So it's certainly not something that is iconic to a specific film.
My God, I've waited 144 episodes for a Point Break reference. I feel like I can die. Good night, everyone.
I thought he was going to go to Killing Zoe. But I don't
there you go.
I
was thinking the terrible trio from Batman. I hate those guys.
Yeah.
Yours is much cooler looking.
I was actually 1 year, 91 or whatever that year came out. I was Reagan for Halloween.
Nice.
I saw that movie 3 or 4 times in the theater.
It's amazing.
It gets better every time.
Oh, and I bet I'm going to see the remake 3 or 4 times.
Oh, is that happening?
Oh yeah, you hadn't heard?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's happening.
I think it's happening right now.
Yeah.
Really?
I think that they posted stills from the set or something.
Wow.
Now everyone's all bummed out.
They wouldn't have
go to
pulled that shit
commercial.
if Peace Ways was still alive.
Yeah. I think,
So
Gerard Butler is going to play.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember hearing that. That's not a bad. You like Gerard Butler, right, Ravenshadow?
No, I love me some 300, but they already fucking made Point Break.
They have out here. I don't know if you guys know about it, but they have a Point Break live performance that they do, where you just kind of go in the. You sit at. I think it seats like 100 people, and it used to be every Saturday, and they throw these actors, and they randomly pick the guy who's going to play Johnny Utah, Keanu Reeves.
Every Saturday? Josh, what are you doing?
It used to.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, but every Saturday out here in LA is I've actually never gone to it, but because I used to work on Saturdays, but I hear they just randomly pick a stranger to play Keanu Reeves, throw him the script and say, here.
I'll do that. I caught my first curl today, sir.
That's pretty amazing. I think we have some friends that have seen it live,
Really?
and I'm totally envious because it's probably an amazing experience to see Point Break live.
This also confirmed another thing.
Yeah, definitely bucket list.
Yeah, I speaking of bucket list, like a question was answered like just right now.
What?
I had always just thought that Ravenshadow would be a terrible actor.
And you're right.
Yeah, now I'm positive that he's a terrible actor, so I can move on again.
I am an FBI agent.
Hey, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Joshua's never going to cast you in any of his films.
Sorry,
right?
Josh. I'll be in Badger Games too.
Badger Games too.
You guys. I did catch the ending of Der Samurai while I went onto your YouTube channel. I didn't realize there were spoilers. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh crap!
Shit.
You guys are like, oh, can we talk? Well, yeah, we played the spoiler music. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it okay as long as we play
it okay.
Yeah,
because first-time listeners know that means.
Everybody's every episode's going to be someone's first, right?
Yeah.
So
And last.
we do try to or last. So
Usually they're the same thing.
yeah, exactly. First and last.
Explain the joke, folks. It took till the 2-hour and 22-minute mark, but he explained the joke.
No, you're wrong.
No, you just explained the joke.
No, I didn't.
It is a trick or treat radio tradition, Josh, that MonsterZero here explains one of the jokes that somebody else makes.
That is
Every
not
once in a while,
entirely
he'll
true.
explain his own joke, and those are the real awesome.
That is not entirely true.
Just mostly.
Sure.
So Josh, so you guys now have Badger Game in the can. You guys have it's coming out on VOD officially soon, and obviously it's played around. You guys have done. Did it do some festivals as well?
Yeah, we did a couple festivals. We did one in Tucson. It was like the Arizona Underground Festival.
Yep.
We did a bunch of like there's underground festivals. Like we did one in Laughlin, Nevada, and then another one in Polygrind, and then we did a few one in Cork, Ireland, Celluloid, Twisted Celluloid Festival.
Okay.
And then we did one in England, but I mean, there's so many. Oh my God, there's so many festivals.
Oh, it's ridiculous,
there,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, we all want to get into Sundance in Toronto and all that stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. But we got into a few. We won. Let's see, what was it? We won Laughlin. I think we won Best Drama at Laughlin, and then Best Thriller at Polygrind, and then Most Cool Movie also at Polygrind, whatever that award.
Nice. Yeah.
That award. It sounds like a cool award,
Definitely.
And,
sounds like the most cool award.
Yeah, that sounds like the most. I mean, I'll take that over Best.
Website, and we can see all at the bottom of the page here shows all the awards won. So I mean that's pretty cool that you guys got it into some festivals and won some awards, and just something nice to put on the poster to tell people about. Hopefully this gets out and more people can get a chance to see it. And so what I'm wondering is we'll come back to Badger Game in a little bit. One thing I'm wondering is, do you guys have something sort of in the pipe, something that you're going to be working on next? Do you know what that's going to be, or are you just focused right now on getting the Badger Game out there?
Are you going the long way around to ask him what he's smoking?
What?
What do you have in your pipe?
What do you got?
Yeah, what you need, Josh?
What do you need?
You just sounded like my grampy, like approaching a drug dealer.
Let me see some of the selections for the pipe.
I would like to be on the pot.
Got some marijuana cigarettes.
Do you have any of the cracks?
We got some stuff for the pipe.
There you go. We gotta hang, brother.
That's one of the things. It's like when you finish your project, you want to have something in the pipe.
Yeah.
And a lighter to go with it. Something in the pipes don't go without a lighter. But no, yeah, I got a thriller that we both have individual projects going on. I have a couple. I have one that's I'm talking with a production company right now, and Aaron Paul's interested in. We're interested in Aaron Paul, so
yep.
I got to find out if he's interested in the script. If so, great. If not, then who knows what happens to it. But Tom and I are collaborating on. Well, we have 2 other projects. One, the script is complete, and we're trying to get it to a couple of A-list actors. And they take forever, man. It's like you wonder how any movie ever gets made. And it's so everything gets so overcomplicated to the point where you're like, you just kind of want to move on to another project. But but Tom and I, we want to collaborate on a it's a bathroom attendant heist movie. And
sold.
I like it already.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the next one we're pitching, kind of to get a bigger budget. Like obviously you guys haven't seen Badger Game yet, but if you had, you would kind of it's a I heard you guys talking about Der Samurai and kind of like wondering what this guy can do with a bigger budget. I don't know what the budget of that movie was, but ours was a ultra low, which is under 200,000, and the things that we've had a lot of people tell us that looks like we made it for they thought the budget was a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the thing, like you either pay for you either get like this one name talent actor to be in your movie and it looks and sounds like shit, or you pay to make it look and sound great and you might not be able to afford the actor that you want. It's just kind of like you pick and choose. But we definitely want to collaborate on our next on the bathroom attendant heist movie together, because it's hard to do by yourself. We didn't even have an assistant director. We both directed before, and we just kind of it's like there's 2 of us, so what do we need an assistant director for?
Yeah.
And so as a team, we kind of I think he's more of the producer mindset, and I'm more of the director mindset. Like we were going over, we'd go, over 10, 12 hours on certain days. And he told me one day, he's like, we're literally hemorrhaging money right now, every second, trying to think of a shot. You know what I mean? And so I guess we work well together. But, our next project is definitely that bathroom attendant heist movie.
Awesome.
and I actually just wrapped up a documentary about I guess I could call him an aging Elvis impersonator who won the Gong Show in 1978, and now he wants to be his own. He wants like his own late night talk show, like Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Fallon and all that. And it's a documentary. It's called Gong but Not Forgotten.
Sold.
Gong. And so that's a documentary, and I'm mixing up the audio for that right now. So hopefully, later on in the year that'll be out too.
Nice. It's funny. I was just about to ask you about that. I pulled that up on the IMDb, and I think a lot of us are friends or fans of the Gong Show, growing up with that as
love the Gong Show.
Kids. So,
unknown comic like a motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So seeing
the Popsicle Twins.
So seeing that you did, a documentary about Johnny Blaze. I don't remember Johnny Blaze from the Gong Show specifically, but this sounds like a really sort of intriguing documentary that I'm definitely curious to check out when you're all set with it, because it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I worked with him for 4 years on it because we were just shooting a little bit here and there, but it's kind of funny and sad, at the same time. And God, I mean, I really wanted to do it because it's in a way he's delusional.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, aren't we all? And that's the thing. It's like, am I delusional too? Like, am I Johnny Blaze to somebody else? You know, like sometimes I feel that way. So especially with being here in Hollywood, when people just don't return your phone calls ever, and kind of make you feel like you're crazy, like, continuously bothering them, like, hey, like we just talked and you said you were going to call me today. Is that just, is that just, how your way of saying I'm not going to call you? Let me know. And sometimes I felt that way with Johnny Blaze. He would kind of call me. Is it finished? Is it finished? Is it finished? I'm like, no. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
You just literally touched upon, probably outside of spider shocks anyway, you just touched upon my biggest nightmare. Like, I am so afraid. There are people that I know where, like, you summed it up. Like I don't want to say who they are, but like, am I that guy? Like, am I the Hank
Johnny Blaze?
Scorpio?
The Hank Scorpio.
Johnny Blaze? Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could be.
I hope not. Thanks for the
Spoiler
fucking
alert.
encouragement, Josh.
We all got a little Johnny Blaze in us
Yeah.
somewhere about something.
But that's okay because I have a solve.
You have a what?
A salve.
Siv?
Shiv.
Sight? Siv?
I have that too.
I mean, I'm sure Johnny Blaze doesn't think he's Johnny Blaze.
Right. The other thing I was going to mention is that there seems to be an influx of films directed by duos. So we have, obviously you guys have in your film The Badger Game, you had Augie Duke, who was in the film Spring, and obviously that was directed by Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead. We have the Soska twin director duos that have been, it's interesting to hear a little bit more about that dynamic.
Oh man, are you there?
Yep, we're still here.
That's so funny. I just got cut out for that whole thing. I heard you started and finished.
So we was just talking about director duos, and it seems like there's been an influx of films that have that. We have the Soska twins, we have Benson and Moorhead, and a bunch of others. So, and obviously having you and was Tom? Is that your partner's name? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you have sort of more the director mentality. He has more the production mentality. So, what are the advantages to doing that? And do you think this is something that we're going to see a little bit more of moving forward?
From us or just in general?
I guess, yeah, just in general. It seems like we've seen it more lately than we have in the past, or at least maybe I wasn't paying attention as much before, but it just seems like we've had a lot of more director duos.
I think so because a lot of us are having to do a lot of the stuff ourselves.
Yep.
Especially with these low budget movies, and Tom and I are both. I've worked production for years, and I've worked in almost every department except the audio department. So I've been a PA, and he's been a PA, and we know how to run a set. But it's also nice to have someone to lean on, man, because especially in post-production, especially when it comes to you just get discouraged so many times, and you're too busy during production to get discouraged. Your adrenaline's going, and you need each other for that too, because there's just a lot to handle, emotionally, physically. There's just a lot to handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes time to post-production, and you realize it's going to be another it's going to be another 6 months, and you don't have money for audio mix. And you're getting rejected from every single film festival. You feel like a fucking loser. And it's just nice to have usually when he's down, I'm up, and when I'm down, he's up. But sometimes we're both down, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Well, it's nice to be down at the bottom with somebody.
Yeah.
It's nice to be in the same boat because we're both risk takers, and making movies is a risk. And when it doesn't pan out, which sometimes it feels that way. Every day you wake up, it's like, no emails, no return calls. This isn't panning out. Hey, you call them up and just invent and be like, hey man, you're a fucking loser too with me. It's nice, and so yeah. But I don't know if that's necessarily why you're gonna see more duo filmmakers. But fuck, man, you might see trio filmmakers. You know what I mean? Like 4 people, and think it's some kind of think you're watching what do you call them? Like the Twilight Zone or some kind of VHS. Well, I mean, but we're each director is doing a segment, but anthology movie maybe. But no, I mean, yeah, I think that there's a lot to handle, and like I said, because there were 2 of us, we didn't even have an AD. So I guess that's an advantage. Although we did get an AD in our 3rd week, and that was really nice. It was like, holy shit, why didn't we have this whole but,
and
next time.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was a big learning experience for you both, and especially moving forward, you guys will have a lot more experience under your belt, and if you do work on films together, you sort of will learn what you're good at, what Thomas is good at, and you can go from there and probably be a little bit quicker with how you make it and some of the decisions you make. So I guess moving forward in that sense, I could definitely see the benefits of working as a duo, especially on films that that don't have much of a budget, may have short production cycles, things like that. I could definitely see a lot of benefit to doing that, to share the burden.
Yeah. Oh, and it's and dealing with the act, we had 3 actresses on set, and actors and actresses they're very it's sensitive.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's nice to be able to I'm not in the I can't. We're dealing with our own shit, and then the actors are dealing with their own shit. It's all the same. It's all gonna end up in the same place, but it's separate shit. And
pains in the asses,
like,
right?
Yeah. God, I was thinking of such a nice way to put it.
Read the fucking line. I wrote it. Like, stand here and scream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can say that to us, Josh.
Dude, I don't.
Now I know how good of a director he wouldn't be.
Blocking can be a bitch, though.
Blocking can be a bitch. Well, a lot of the actors too. It's like our actor Patrick. He always wanted to be doing something in the background. He's like, God, I feel like Kip should be doing something right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like he should be doing? I don't want you in the background. Like what? Like fucking blowing bubbles or what?
You should be fucking reading the script. Stand fucking still, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, but he'd always want to be holding an apple.
Like Kojak?
And yeah. And he's a pretty healthy, ripped dude in real life, and it's like he's eating apples in between takes anyway, and he's like, why don't I just be eating this apple here in the background or holding this apple? And I'm like, no, and there or Tom would say no, and I'd be like, yeah, we'll think about it. Let's shoot a couple where you're not holding the apple.
Yeah.
And we'll think about it. And there's, if you watch the movie, now you guys know. You're gonna
can't wait.
Where there's that fucking apple. And one of our actresses wanted to be drinking water in the opening scene, so she's like, I feel like I should be drinking a water. Maybe her character can get me a water, and I can drink it. And and we did end up shooting that actually, and we ended up cutting around it, because it's like it's a long scene, and she goes and gets her this water, and she gives it to her. So in the movie you're gonna see her all of a sudden have a water. Well, it's better than the minute. It took her like a minute to go. She grabbed the glass out of the cabinet, filled it up, set it down. It was just like, these are rookie mistakes that we made. But next time we'll know.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you're thirsty.
I don't even know if I answered your question. I just kind of went off on a rant.
That's okay.
No,
That was great. It's like, we'll film that scene. How come the light's not on? No, it's on. Trust me. Don't worry about it. It's not plugged in. Yeah, it'll be fucking great. Didn't make the cut.
Didn't make the cut. Yeah. Where's the apple?
I feel like I should be juggling some balls while I'm balancing on a tightrope.
What if I'm sawing a piece of wood?
Oh yeah, they're giving their character all types of background. Like I was in the circus for a few years. I'm gonna juggle these apples.
I want a Play-Doh fun factory. How about I'm doing that? I'm building Legos. No, motherfucker, put the fucking cat mask on. And scare somebody.
Yeah,
we hear you, Josh.
No, we. Go ahead.
No. My story's dumb. As they all are.
Mine might be too. But you asked me something earlier about like the all the when we were putting everything together. I don't. You said you gathered something from the trailer, like it was like it's a darkly comedic thriller.
Yeah.
And just no matter what genre or what subject matter I'm working, it could be about AIDS, dying, someone, there has to be humor in there. You know what I mean? There just has to be. I feel like that's for me my way of connecting to an audience. And when we just had our LA premiere on April 30th, and it was really, really well. Like the audience was laughing a lot, and at some of the stuff, because it is, our characters are kind of, they're fuck ups, but they're not, they make mistakes, but they're not, they're complete total fuck ups to where you're like, oh, that's stupid. These guys are idiots. I don't even want to see what they're doing.
Right.
But the thing is for me, I feel like that is one of the fastest ways to connect to an audience. Even if it is a horror, a thriller, just the laughs here and there, and and some gasps when the blood came, and when the that I don't want to give away too much, but when the blood came gushing, there was the gasp. But you're never gonna. But I guess laughing is like the most communicative way for me to know what the audience is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I guess dramas, crying. I guess tears. You see people whipping out their Kleenex and stuff like that. But I always go for the laughs. I don't know. And I think earlier when you were saying you were discussing. I don't know if you used the word hybrid or cross genre.
Yeah, genre bending, I think, is what I said, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the I don't want to say complaints, but one of the excuses we got from a couple of the bigger festivals why we didn't really, it was like the movie wasn't indie enough for them, but it wasn't horror enough for them, and it's like. You get these indie movies where it's like, somebody buys a house and they go they're out of the country and they're finding themselves and, they're in the house and they meet a neighbor and they fall in love and it's all, it's just like got this indie feel and look to it.
Right.
And, to me, and you see a lot of these movies, they've been in festivals for years and they're going to continue. It's like the festival. You guys know what I'm talking about, the festival.
Yeah.
Art house.
Someone's probably handicapped.
Yeah, it's totally
You know
true.
what I'm saying? Like,
he's right this time. It's the flip side of the and these are the films that weed their way all the way up to the the mysterious. Yeah, and the mysterious all the way up to the mysterious Academy Awards, unless something from England comes out that year.
Someone's got a stutter or
somebody.
something.
It's like, oh well, we're in love and things are good, but I have cancer.
Yeah.
Academy Award.
Yeah.
Right there, and then they got these, and there's camera, these camera sits on them while they drive the car for 5 minutes, and it's just, and the sun, you get a lens flare in there, and and there's like a flock, and you cut to a pasture of blowing grass.
I'm totally fucking picturing that right now.
Dude, I want to see that movie.
Yeah,
Wait, Josh, I got it. You need to make a film about somebody who has cancer and AIDS.
Right.
Oh my God, call it Double Whammy.
And at the end,
you're fucked.
At the end though.
Oh, yeah.
Or that could be like a zany Seth Rogen comedy where he has cancer, then he gets AIDS, and they cancel each other out. So everybody's out there with cancer trying to get AIDS.
And then he frolics with James Franco in the field.
No. He's right. You get cancer, you get AIDS. They cancel each other out. He leaves the hospital and he gets hit by a cement truck.
Yeah.
Academy Award.
But, yeah. Academy Award. But he still lives.
Right.
Hit by a cement truck. He's buried
still
in
lives.
cement.
He had cancer. He had AIDS. He got hit by a truck, but he lived to inspire a nation.
As far as the... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go, Josh.
No, I was gonna say, as far as the indie shit goes, for me it should be about the process. We literally had, we literally had one of our friends. We shot illegally on a private road in the middle of the night in the mountains, and we literally put one of our friends. We gave him a 6-pack of beer,
and
a flashlight,
car keys. Good luck.
No, a flashlight, a walkie-talkie, and no, I mean we're in the we're in the mountain, coyote country. I think he might have had some kind of a pointy stick or something that he could fight off any kind of pack of wolves with. But no, I mean it's shit like that is to me that says it's an indie. We didn't have money to hire cops to watch both sides of the road. While we shot, we didn't have time. We didn't have money for that. So I guess my complaint, and I have a lot of complaints, especially when it comes to the festival. Don't even get me started. But it's just to me, it's it's not what the movie looks like after the subject matter. To me, indie's this is how we made it. Since when is our movie being a hybrid of a thriller and horror comedy a bad thing? You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's some of it has seemed like that's been negative, whatever.
Yeah, I think some people just can't grasp that. I think
It bothers
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't fit into a mold. We can't sell you because you're not like everything else.
But that's one thing. If it's those people that don't get it, at least that's their job, right? And if you know, whether or not they're dicks about it or whatever else, but it's like when, you know, Johnny on the street is like that is when it drives me nuts. Like, oh, what is this? Is this a comedy?
Well, the ironic thing is the festival programmers are the ones that didn't get it, but the distributors, because we had a couple of distribution offers before we signed with Stadium Media, and but you know the funny thing is it's that they do get it, and it's like, well, shouldn't you be the ones telling us this might be a hard sell, not the fucking festival program?
Right.
What do they know about what kind of acquisition deals are going on? You know, like I just feel like it's kind of ass backwards in that sense, you know. And yeah, and like anybody that we showed it to, like, take for instance, our crowd, right? They're laughing, clapping, you know, gasping throughout the whole movie. They don't give a fuck what kind of movie it is.
Right.
They're entertained. They're entertained. You know what I mean? That's, you know, at the end of the day, it's like they're entertained. They had a good time. They, you know, and they kind of got some of our little, you know, some of our character differences and stuff like that. The theme, the thematic different, basically the reoccurring theme throughout the movie, which is, you know, more about the characters than the plot. But you know, a lot of people got that, and some people didn't. But some, you know, but everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
So it's like, you mean to tell me if you're if you know what, if we would have gotten into a festival like Toronto or, you know, something shit like that, and we got that reaction, I mean, it would have went a long way. You know, those claps would have went a long way. And you know, certain distributors would have seen that, and that's all they got to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
They don't care at that point. They don't care. All they're thinking about is, can we sell this?
Yeah.
Well, you guys tell me. Look at our poster, the Badger game. I mean, there's no you know, no name actors in our movie. Although Sam Boxleiter is Bruce Boxleiter's son.
Oh, Snoop.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Boxleiter,
Tron,
Cuffs.
Yeah,
There you
absolutely.
go, yeah.
Cuffs.
I love Christian
He went to the
Slater,
same
yeah.
high school. He went to the same high school as me, Mount Prospect High School.
Nice.
Nice. So is he a Scarecrow Mrs. King too?
Oh yes.
No, you got a great fucking poster. If I walked into my local theater with my wife, that'd be like, oh shit, we gotta see this. You know what I mean?
And then she would say, "Okay, but shut up. We're going to go see Gone Girl."
Exactly. But you know, you can rent. You should be like, we'll rent this. We'll wait for it to come on. You know, WGN or
the movie loft.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I wanted to talk about was I had two things I was going to talk about, and they both left my head. But the one thing I was going to actually mention, this I just recalled, was, so it seems like we've seen a bit of an influx of films that sort of are like outside the peripheral.
I thought you were going to say dual directors again. I was afraid you had a
No,
stroke.
No, an influx of films
Like we had an influx of dual directors.
that are sort of on the peripheral of horror. So, for instance, Spring was a film we recently reviewed, and that, to say that's a horror film is a bit of a stretch. It deals with elements of horror, but at the heart of the film, it's really like a romance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it deals with horror elements, and I mean, it's something that's
Babadook.
Yeah, Babadook. Yeah. There's been like it's something that's always been there. Like, you've seen these films that sort of dabble with horror themes and elements, but I think we've seen a lot more recently that are doing this. And I think one of the things we talked about was, I think a lot of times horror fans are a lot more open-minded when it comes to things like this, because if Spring was marketed towards the Notebook crowd, people would be horrified. They would hate it, right?
Plus, it doesn't have the gauze in it.
That would be interesting. I would love to see like that focus group like go check it out, like pretend they're gonna go see the Notebook, and then all of a sudden they get Spring. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
But I think horror fans are a lot more open to different ideas and new things. So I think, in a sense, I think that really ended up working. But if it was geared towards another audience, it may not have been as effective. But in this case, I think it's okay to span multiple genres, and even if your film is sort of grounded in horror elements, I think a lot of horror fans will be open to a lot of different takes on it, and spanning different genres and different types of films.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's you always start with the horror fans. They're loyal, and like you said, they're open-minded, and you see horror fans also like sci-fi, thriller, and then super. I mean, but obviously, it's all elements of horror, supernatural. That. And, I mean, you can go anywhere, but there's a lot. Like, life is. You could take any situation and make it horrifying. It's there's a lot of horrifying, scary things in life. I guess the theme. I wrote a script called Mimesis. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen Mimesis?
I have not, but that was actually going to be the next thing I was going to ask you about. I was really interested in finding out a little bit more about that. So yeah, go ahead and.
Well, I guess the theme there was like just how people, art imitate or life imitating art, art imitating life. People kind of you kind of get in that serious realm, but people can imitate life in many different ways. But in this particular way, life is imitating art in a brutally violent way.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like, I don't know, like I think I haven't seen Spring yet, but it's like what is it? Part Before Sunrise or something, and right? I mean, it's like hanging around Italy and falling in love, and Before Sunrise, After Sunrise. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like
There's three of them.
Yeah, it's like Before Sunrise meets like H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. And I guess that is a very. I mean, if and I guess who's in that? Louis Taylor Pucci.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know him. You guys know him. I mean, I guess I've been following him for a while since Thumbsucker, Chum Scrubber days.
Yep.
At Sundance, but I guess maybe after Evil Dead remake, he got bigger. But if someone like me, was going and pitching that or trying to sell that to a distributor, they'd be like, what?
Yeah.
No, stupid. And I'm sure they might have even said that and are still saying it. You know what I mean? And about Spring. But yeah, I look at movies like that, and that intrigues me as opposed to scares me and pushes me away. Well, a lot of people just want to see the same shit, and studios know that, and people with money know that, but artists hate that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or film artists, filmmakers or whatever, writers. We all want to come up with something original, but nobody wants to see that because it hasn't been tested yet.
I feel like it's across like all the arts though. Like all of my favorite bands always have been almost like if you didn't recognize the vocalist's voice, you might not know that was the same band. Like, and I feel like that is a little easier than like in film because you have to sell it to the machine. So it's tough to be a director that has like that's identity isn't on what they do, because the great directors that we grew up on, unfortunately, were a lot of the work that they did were they might have. I mean, I know Wes Craven notoriously wanted to make a musical forever.
Yeah.
And he was and
well, didn't he do? He did Music to My Heart or something. Didn't he? But,
yeah,
I mean, not that was a musical, but
no, but it's like amazing that he did get to do that. Like he snuck in the back door almost literally, but I mean, I'm sure there's other maybe if it was even genre stuff. I think Carpenter always said he wanted to make like a straight out Western, but nobody was going to give him the money to do it, and it's so much harder. But meanwhile, you have bands that like I love, like They Might Be Giants and Faith No More, who
you were the Mike Patton guy, huh?
Yeah.
Did you mention Mike Patton?
I did
about playing
the Joker. He was always my dream Joker.
Yeah.
So, like just his cackle in some of his the background in some of his songs and stuff like that. But it's like, that's the Joker. That's what he does. No one agreed with me. Him either. But.
I thought about it.
Okay.
I did think about it. I was like trying to picture him with his, his shaved sides. Has he still got that look, like shaved sides and the hair, like the hair going down the middle?
He sort of has like dad body now.
Yeah.
He's kind of always had that though.
Yeah, but
didn't he?
He looks
maybe
like
not Faith No More days, but like in Tomahawk or Phantomus and all that stuff. I think he started to go that.
Could be right. Could be right.
Before we start to wrap up here, Joshua, what I wanted to ask was a little bit more about the Badger game. How did you guys film this? Did you film it digitally, or did you guys? I assume without much of a budget, that's probably the best method to go with.
Yeah. I mean, we all want to shoot film,
Of course.
And I, I was kind of like at film school when digital was coming in. So I've shot films on a 16 millimeter Bolex wine camera and had to cut them together.
Yeah.
With a razor blade and use tape, and take you a whole day to put together a 3-minute movie.
Right.
And I mean, and there's always that love, but now there's I guess there's ways to make it look digital, but yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't have the budget for that, so we shot on the Red MX.
Okay.
And we decided to make, and you guys haven't seen it, so it's basically most of the movies is handheld.
Yeah.
But not that shaky like handheld stuff. It's just it's RDP, and it's just kind of got that like uneasy kind of wavy feeling to it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I read a kind of a good review on the Badger game, but some of it in the cons, it was like, and the camera has like this, like he talked about it like it almost wasn't intentional,
right.
But it was intentional. It's like it's like an action, like when you see the handheld shot in a show or something like that, you're like, oh, some shit's about to go down.
Right.
Shit goes down in the Badger game, but a lot of it is handheld, but a lot of it's steady handheld. It's not like shaky crap look. But yeah, and that was because of the constraints, the time constraints. We had a lot of ambitious, and also some scenes we have 5 actors in a room in a lot of scenes. That's a lot of coverage.
Yeah.
We got to, we're trying to figure out how to cover all these people because you don't want to get in the editing room and not have certain shots. It's just because, like I said, with our budget, you're not going back. You're not going back to that level. Well, actually, we shot in my girlfriend's garage, so we can't go back. But
Yeah.
it's just like getting the right lights, got to get the camera again, and so yeah. I mean, it was a creative choice, but it was also a technical choice. And it's just you can move around more freely than being on sticks. And the Red MX, our DP was most familiar with that camera, and so yeah, so we wanted to shoot what he was comfortable shooting, especially given the skeleton crew that we had,
right.
and the lack of resources for him to be able to move around a lot. It just wasn't an option.
Absolutely. And so I think one of the, unless you guys have additional questions, I think the last question I want to ask is, so one thing we talk about a lot on this show is sort of the advent of digital media and how it has affected creators and artists and filmmakers and musicians and comic book artists and things like that. So obviously you've been someone who's been sort of in film for a while now. You've gone to film school. What's your take on this sort of new method? It's sort of the Wild West right now, and it's, I think people are trying to find their footing as to what the best method is to go about releasing films. So in your estimation, how has the advent of digital media with the internet, with I guess even torrents where people can go and just download something illegally, or having the ability to what you guys are doing with this advanced screening on Vimeo, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing that you couldn't do 10 years ago. So I know it's a really broad question, but what's your take on the advent of digital media and how it's affected films?
Well, it's, I'm definitely going to find out,
yeah.
in a month. But every filmmaker dreams of seeing this movie in the theater.
Sure.
Like when you're writing your script, I'm not piecing together a movie and picturing, oh man, people are gonna be watching this on their cell phone.
Right.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a bad or good thing because if those that cell phones and computers didn't have access to these sites, and still video stores were closing and dying, and like, I mean, because you go to Redbox, and I mean, come on, man. I grew up going to video stores, and I'd be in there 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
looking for movies, man.
You're speaking right to our hearts. Yeah.
Right, and that's one of the reasons I joined Netflix, not the streaming, but where you could rent them, because you can get any movie from Netflix where you rent it. Where you rent a movie, you're in the mood to see a movie, and then it comes to you 2 days later, and you're not in the fucking mood to watch that movie anymore.
Right.
And then it sits in your in your bedroom for 5 weeks. No, but no, you go to Redbox, and it's like, oh, here's my choices. Any movie that came out in the last like month, and then where do they go when they leave Redbox? You know what I mean? Where do they go?
Probably some third world country.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Because they disappear. They get pushed out.
Yep.
And so as far as digital, all right. Well, the one of the main reasons we went with Stadia was because they had we had a distribution company that kind of they had to meet kind of meet every quarter. They had to have X amount of titles, right?
Yep.
So they were interested in our movie, and what are they going to do with it? They're going to take it. They're just going to put it out there, and that's it. And they're going to hope it does well, or they're just doing it. It's not. It's the spray and pray, as someone described it. Spray and pray. You put out a bunch of movies,
yeah, and
maybe one of them will do well, and you don't do any marketing.
Yep.
And what Stadium wants to do is they want to do like this. They want to do it's going to be nationwide digital next and the digital platforms next month, and then after that, we're going to a few months later we're going to release we're going to have a DVD and Blu-ray release through Sever, and then you'll probably get your and then it'll hopefully be in Redbox and maybe in Best Buy or something, and then you'll get the what do you call it, like Netflix, all the subscription things.
Yep.
These things like that, but they want to like the Stadium wants to slowly release it, so it's kind of like so people hear about it little by little, which to me it's a patient way, but this is a patient man's game. Like if we were over, you could once you hear distribution, you're like, oh my god, it's finally happening, because you hear about all these movies that that don't get distribution. So once someone throws at you, we like your movie, we'll distribute it. Where do I sign? Well, I've had people sign and then nothing happened with their movie and they don't have the rights to it.
Right.
So with digital, it's like I'm more concerned. Like I love the idea because people are going to watch it. Everyone's got awesome TVs now, right? Mm-hmm. So they're going to be watching it on their awesome TVs anyway. But what I am more concerned about is marketing. Who and how do you market these movies? Like unless we're not going to be on TV. You're not going to see a trailer for the Badger Game on TV. And you're going to have like, you got like movie what are people more obsessed with than anything? Movies. People are still obsessed with movies as they've always been. And when we speak of obsession, we're talking about horror fans. You don't go to drama conventions, you see a bunch of these old people.
Actually, I do that called band practice.
Is Mike Patton in your band? He's in like 50 bands.
Yes, right? Could be.
No, but yeah, it's like and so you go to conventions, and I guess that's how you spread the word of mouth. But I don't know. I guess I want to ask you as the musician, is it the same? I always compare movies and music. Movies and music, man, it's my shit. You know what I mean? Like, love them. And I even think about what music is going to go in a movie. When you're writing it, like, oh, this song right here. I want this to be playing right here. And but I mean, it's tough with pirating and with people stealing it. It's like, yeah, sure, the artist in you's like, oh yeah, great, someone at least they're going to see my movie. But when you want to make money and you want to do make another
more
album
movies,
or make more movies,
yeah,
that's not as cool anymore. So,
and the internet is tough too, because it's like a billboard that changes every 28 seconds.
Oh yeah.
So you have to hope that somebody's looking at what you want them to see, or stumbled across what you want them to see. It, and there's the misconception that we certainly lived through the misconception that critical acclaim equals that. I have hundreds of the most critically acclaimed beer coaster I've ever like had in my whole entire life because everybody liked our record, but nobody bought our record. So
right?
it's
Okay.
tough. Like
and I'll buy your record.
Thanks. Please ignore the beer stains. I don't know if I got any more clean ones.
No, I'll check it out though.
Michael Ravenshadow is watching pornography right next to me right now.
Come on,
as
man.
We do an interview.
Come on.
I am not even kidding. Like if you heard that bad, like somewhere in between, like that new porn music that's somewhere in between like dubstep and like 70s wah, like that went on, and I looked.
Band, or is that the music playing?
That's the music playing, though. That's my new style. Me and Mike Patton are gonna do that band.
How is that not? How is that not so?
No, it's not. But he's watching porn. We're talking to you about real life stuff, and this dude is about to get his smack on.
Really? What? I mean, what kind of like old school porn? Well, where's the porn industry going?
I don't know.
My Verizon download.
It's going into his phone.
Yeah.
Just somebody dancing. Just
Yeah,
something
just
nice.
somebody dancing.
Just
Shut
some
up.
background.
We're talking about fucking serious art. You're
that was
watching.
good. That was good, but you didn't see
Porn
this girl.
Porn's art.
Ashton, no, I can't wait for Badger Game.
Jesus Christ,
Christ,
dude. Shut up.
No,
Oh my God.
Josh, seriously.
Hey,
I'll
Josh,
send this to
if the filmmaking thing doesn't come out,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out, we have a spot on a podcast. We're going
Podcast
to
for
kick
you,
him
for
off.
sure, yeah.
Dude, I'm there.
Yeah. If you
I always listen to these things and I'm like, man, that just seems so fucking cool. Like, you guys get paid, or are you just kind of like in the basement?
Yeah.
Like,
We just pay to do this. Nobody
Yeah.
pays us.
Second floor.
Yeah. We're moving on up to the big time.
Yeah.
We got lights.
To a corner condo in the sky.
Well, the Badger Game's it has elements of eroticism.
He's trying to sell it to Ravenshadow.
His ears just perked up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We just watched a great movie, and all this guy took away was how big the dude's brajole is. So.
Josh, listen, let me tell you something. Put him in a movie. All right? Called the Brajole Game.
Pitt Bukowski.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, to go back to, I mean, as far like how the internet is, pages are changing. We were on Dread Central for 24 hours.
Yeah.
10, 12 of those hours are like people were sleeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was cool. But it's like, we'll give you 24 hours. But yeah, you're right. If people don't see it,
Right.
then But I mean, it's it's on Vimeo right now, and it's Vimeo the Badger Game. It's just kind of really accessible. You just kind of go there, and of course I sent you guys. Shh.
We won't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone the free Vimeo.
It's a great title too. Like that, that does a bunch of the work for you right there because like it sticks in your head, and it manages to like it seems there's like something familiar about it. But
someone told me we should go to Madison and rent out a theater and play it there for a week.
Sure.
Wisconsin Badger.
Yeah,
But the case, one of this extortion case did happen in Wisconsin, and they called it the Badger Game.
Really?
So that's where we got the title.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to shoot it in Wisconsin, but and it's I want it to take place in Wisconsin. It's very hard to make Southern California look like Wisconsin.
So right now I'm looking at it on Vimeo. So vimeo.com/on-demand/the Badger Game. So if you just do the Badger Game Vimeo, a Bing search, Google search, whatever kind of search you want to do, it'll pop right up. You can rent it for $5.99 and you get a 48-hour streaming period, or you can buy it for $12.99 and stream it anytime. So I think everyone out there that's even slightly interested, you can even watch the trailer right there on the Vimeo page. Check that out. And Dread Central says a deliciously dark comedy. That's their quote right there.
that's a good job for you. You should be that guy, Wolfie.
What guy?
The guy that says all those taglines at the beginning of trailers.
A deliciously dark comedy, like that.
Yep.
You sound a little like Howard Stern. I kind of feel like I'm on Howard Stern. Is it all right if I'm?
They have the same
pretending I'm on
haircut.
Howard Stern?
Take off your top, please, Josh.
Oh yeah, you guys can see me. I can't see you. But I was watching the YouTube thing.
That's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, you're better off that way. We are
you guys mentioned Crispin Glover,
yeah,
Crispin Hellion
and David
Glover.
Lynch.
yeah, absolutely.
I was listening.
You're doing your homework.
It's more than most of the people on the show do.
Yeah, most of them are watching porn.
Jesus Christ
Yeah.
on the crops.
So I think what we'll do is we'll wrap this up, Josh. What I want to do is we're actually going to check out the film, and I think we will do a review of it.
It's call me tomorrow. You know,
We'll call you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time.
People still wake up at that time?
Some people do.
Not me.
so
That's literally an hour after I go to bed.
And so what we'll do is we'll check this out, and maybe we can catch up again with you down the road, maybe when it hits VOD, or when you guys have something else coming out. We'll definitely keep in touch. And
yeah, I'd love to. And,
yeah.
and maybe I can get Tom. Tom couldn't
That'd be
be
great.
here. He had like some plans or something tonight. And obviously, this was last minute.
Yep.
Man, what did I email you yesterday?
Yeah.
a couple days ago. And so no, this was really great.
Yeah, it just came together real quick, but it seemed like a good mix when just looking at the trailer. It's definitely in our wheelhouse, and I think it's something that we'll enjoy. So we're definitely going to check out the film, and so it may be good to have a conversation once we've seen the film and once it's available on VOD for other people to check out as well. So we're not completely spoiling everything.
Yeah.
So.
No. I mean, you were like, you didn't want to spoil anything earlier, but I'm like, how could you? You didn't see the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I just saw the trailer for it.
Well,
go ahead.
Trying to do research, I don't know if I had read something that was spoilery or not.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's there's nothing to really. There's a couple things that go on in the movie, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's basically
That's,
it's
I don't know that I put that one on your box art. There's a couple things that go down in the movie.
Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll find. No, it's the female, or it's a female revenge story, but the actors, they kind of like just kill every scene.
Nice. Yeah.
There's about 6 or 7 people in the movie, but I mean, our actors get, there's still a few scenes that give me chills. It's just we couldn't have asked for a better ensemble, and the way that they work together is really you're only no matter what happens when you make a movie and you don't hire the right actors, or you're always going to get. It's just not going to reach any kind of potential that you hope for it to reach. So
Sure.
You kind of got to pick the right people to play these parts, and we couldn't have had a better cast.
Yeah, you could have the best script in the world, and if the actors can't pull it off, it's just not going to be effective.
Right. Especially when they're holding apples and shit.
and juggling knives. And
Well, listen, folks. I said it last week when we had our buddies from the Independence and Black Cat Attack on, and I've said it when we've had the great comic book writer Alex DeCampi on, and even all the way back from when we had our buddy Steven Scalata, who was a producer on Jodorowsky's Dune. We only have stuff that we are lucky enough to have amazing people come and hang out with us on the show, and play it forward, folks. Go on Vimeo, at least rent it, but $12, that's way cheaper than you're going to be able to buy it anywhere, and you have it forever. You can watch it whenever you want. You can show it to your grandma when she comes over, but support these artists that we have on the show, because it's harder and harder to make a living doing awesome stuff, and unless you want to be inundated with more corporate rock, more
Blumhouse films.
You have to your vote doesn't count when you torrent it.
Yeah.
You can steal your favorite book, but it doesn't matter. Vote with your wallet, and if this thing blows up on Vimeo, then the people out there that are looking to put out movies are going to know we want to put out this cat's next movie. So please, as we say every time we have somebody awesome on, vote. And the way you vote in the entertainment industry is with the almighty dollar. So pay it forward and tell them that Trick or Treat Radio sent you.
That's right. If if you're going between giving us money or giving Joshua money, just probably give it to him because.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Or buy his movie and use our Amazon link.
There you go. There you go. Now you're thinking.
There
So
you go. See?
people can buy the movie when it's available on Amazon using our Amazon link. There you go.
Oh yeah, it'll hopefully be on Amazon next. We're doing iTunes, Google, Amazon in June. So yeah,
nice.
Perfect.
There you go.
There it is. If you don't want to wait though, we'll forgive you if you want to just go right to Vimeo and get it. That's cool too.
This is pretty historic because the worst marketing manager we've ever had just cracked that code right there. So. That's good. If only you could help us at all.
Yeah. So, Josh, it was awesome having you on, and this
great,
you know
man.
this came together so quick, and we definitely are really excited to check out the film. And when we do, we'll be in touch and we'll figure it out. Maybe we can even get you and Tom back on and we can talk a little bit more in depth about the film when we've had a chance to give it a watch. But we really thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. Before we let you go, though, I want you to let folks know where they can reach you on social media. If you want to plug anything, please use this platform to do so.
my phone number is. All right.
Don't call before 9 a.m.
Well, we have on Facebook we have a Badger game page. Twitter we have a Badger game Twitter account, and yeah, I mean Vimeo, and I mean IMDb. It'd be great to get some more. We're trying to figure out how to get Rotten Tomatoes critics. We're on Rotten Tomatoes, but we don't have any reviews yet.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people. I mean you just kind of get those reviews out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how that helps spread. Like I think we have 5 critic reviews right now, and they're all favorable. We have an 8.2 on IMDb, which I'm sure is going to drop. I mean, 8.2. Come on.
Yeah, it's really high.
That's high, but it's because there's only been a few votes.
Yep.
And we just want to get it out there. I mean, it's we want to get on Rotten Tomatoes. We want to hit every platform, everywhere that I go to see, reviews on movies where I go. I want people to go to see our movie, and so basically, yeah, I mean, we have Twitter, and then the BadgerGame.com is our website, and stuff like that. I mean, we're kind of all over. We're kind of all over the internet, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no excuse. Especially with social media, there's no excuse. You could find us, and that's such an easy to remember name. So you didn't remember.
Yeah, and what we want to do is we want to extend those 28 seconds of billboard time for the Badger game. Let's extend it to like 35 seconds. So if you're out there and you dig what Josh has been talking about, you like what the movie has to offer, check out the movie, share it, go out there, even if you don't have the money to afford to buy it or whatever, just share the link, let people know about it.
You can fucking buy it.
Well, yeah, you could buy it too, but
you can't.
I mean, you buy the movie for $12 and you invite 10 of your friends over, like you're watching the Pacquiao fucking Mayweather fight. I mean, whatever. We just want people to watch it.
Yeah.
We want to we want to get those reviews out there, albeit positive, negative, I don't care, just honesty, and we horror fans, comedy fans, fans of dark cult movies. These are the kind of people that we want. That we really made the movie for. You know what I mean? We made the movie for these kinds of people. And so we want them to see it.
Well, see it they shall. We'll force them at Katana Point.
You're going to fucking watch this movie.
I mean, we got a scene where there's a striptease going on with a girl with a frog mask on.
Nice.
A
How many minutes in?
That's how many minutes in is that? It's about 65, 70 minutes. Almost like plot point 2.
Good to know.
That's
area.
Well, you just want a fan because that's 60 more minutes than the guy next to me usually watches the movies we have to review. So
just tell him to start it at 60.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only 99, so then he's got what 39.
Yeah, you don't have much to go after that.
Yeah.
It's a short movie.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for joining us on Trick or Treat Radio.
So much.
No problem, and we'll definitely keep in touch. And when we get a chance to view the flick, we'll let you know, and we'll see about doing a return engagement, and we'll see if Tom's available as well.
Yeah, great. Now, likewise, I'll blast your show on my
Thank you.
Facebook on the Badger Game site and everything, and kind of get some more listeners for you guys.
Thank
Awesome.
you very much.
Yeah, we could use it. So
because our listeners now are mean.
Yeah, our listeners are very mean.
Listeners what?
Yeah, our listeners that we have now are mean. So I don't
they?
care if we get more. I would just like to replace the ones that we have. Somebody in the chat room said, "It looks like I just walked away from my own dumpster memorial." I'm not even sure what that means, but it sounds mean.
They just said that right now.
I thought I looked okay tonight.
Hey, maybe we'll get. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a couple of Vimeo purchases tonight.
Ooh, quid pro quo.
There you go. So everyone out there, go fucking buy this thing. And if people who listen to the podcast on Friday, go buy this fucking movie. Check it out. Go support Josh and Tom, and check out the
So
Badger
we can
game.
make our next movie.
Exactly.
There you
That's what it's all
go.
about, man.
And then they can use the Deadites music in the movie.
Oh.
Deadite. That's from Hellraiser, no?
Well, that's our band name, and we stole it from Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead. What,
Yep.
what are they called in Hellraiser?
Cenobites.
Cenobites, yeah.
Cenobites.
Which, ironically, all I write about is Clive Barker, so you were somehow subversively close there.
Delicious cereal.
And it's also our favorite cereal, Cenobites.
Deadites. Well, I'll check out the Deadites too.
Deadites.com. Check out the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight.
What the hell just clicked in this guy's head? What was in that porn that this guy started doing his fucking job after 20 years of not?
Oh, I just got feedback from someone saying, "Wow, mean! I ran home for this." You called our listeners mean.
Was it the one that said that I look like a dumpster fire?
That was a listener.
The views of Dynamo Mars do not reflect.
Now Mike Patton's pissed.
All right, Josh.
Hey, you know what? Oh,
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Our music, our score was put together by I don't know if you know London. It was a twosome, R.J. Galantine and London May. But London May plays with Danzig.
Oh shit!
He played with them since Sam Hain. He's been in the band, but I think they do a lot of. He just does like a lot of live performing with him, not so much studio.
Okay.
But Danzig, we had a ticket for Danzig for our screening, man, and he didn't fucking show up. But
Oh,
I'm a huge Danzig fan.
Word.
That would have been awesome.
yeah.
Maybe he sat behind a child and you just couldn't see him.
Maybe he's I know, that's another thing too. I was like, I wonder how tall he is. He's gonna be wearing boots, But yeah, I mean, I practiced everything I was gonna say to him, and he didn't show up.
What a jerk.
Now I'm gonna have Danzig mad at me.
Well, he's listening, so fucking Glenn Danzig, you're listening. You better get your ass on Vimeo and at least rent it, right?
Exactly. You could afford the $5.99 Danzig.
Badger.
Yeah. Everybody watch the Badger game.
Yeah.
You all better do the same.
Badger. I think I smell a remix.
Tom and Joshua, you ain't made that movie yet.
That your crying game rendition of
Thank you. It's only the good stuff people hear.
I've sang that karaoke, so it was, I like that.
What was that movie that it was Slither. That was my favorite part of Slither, where the woman was uncomfortably singing that to pretty much just Michael Roca.
I've seen that. I have to rewatch that movie too.
It's good.
Oh, that was a good movie.
James Gunn, has he done anything since then?
Yeah, what's that guy?
Little art house film.
Oh,
Independent. Guardians of the whatever the fuck.
yeah, that was micro budget.
Micro budget, yeah.
Little flick. Shot on phones, I think.
Fund me.
We'll definitely have to do this again because I feel like we could probably go like another hour and just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to have a return engagement with you, Josh. But definitely, it's been a pleasure having you on, and thank you for reaching out, and glad we were able to make this contact. And everyone go check
let me
out.
know what you guys think of it. Think of it when you watch it.
Okay, yeah,
Can't
we
wait.
definitely will, and we'll definitely be in touch. So thank you again for joining us, Josh. We'll definitely be in touch, and everyone go out there and see the Badger game. Thanks for joining us, Josh.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye. Cool. Well, that was Josh Wagner or Wagner.
Wagner.
If you're German.
Nasty.
If you're nasty. Once again, I think the streak is
Streak's alive.
alive. We've had every guest has been awesome. That was, I think that was a really cool interview here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel bad for him though, but I was so pornography notwithstanding, I was so jarred by the fact that all of a sudden Mr. Machine over here just started figuring out what his job was.
Yeah. Oh, well, why don't you do it through our link? Ooh.
Avengers.com.
I really think Josh has something with that movie though, with the guys who got AIDS and cancer.
Yeah.
Double whammy. Get it?
Double whammy.
No, but that was
that script.
Yeah. But that was really cool. Like I feel like the first, I'm certainly not complaining. The first half I feel like we're just asking questions. Then somewhere around the halfway mark, it was like we're just hanging out.
Well, it's like I was saying about the when we had Val and Evil on last week. Like I feel like oh man, like are we talking too much and they're not talking enough? But I realize that we're having a fucking talk. It's not like like you say a bunch of words and then they reply to them in the same way that they've had to answer the question a million other times.
Right.
Well, it goes back to what you said. That's the magic trick, and that's the Denny's table.
What?
The
magic trick under the Denny's table?
Nah, that was different.
I don't want to know about that trick.
You fucking know that trick. Remember when I used to crawl under?
While Sheila... Jim Blossom.
And, Tricky Davis Jr.
Tricky Davis Jr. That was a weird fucking guy.
Yeah.
I used to play. Remember that dude Jamal? I used to play him in chess.
Jamal was awesome.
Yeah, if I beat him in chess, he'd give me a deli dinger.
Deli dinger.
I got good at chess.
James Brown.
And James Brown.
Who's going chicken hunting?
Oh my god. I'll never So, folks, I was injured for about 3 months. I was hospitalized for a few weeks, and then I was hurt for a while. And our good friend JT came and lived at my folks' house a few days a week to make sure, because I couldn't even really defend myself. We watched every VHS movie I had 10 times. My big I could leave, I wasn't bedridden party anymore was at Denny's, in the back room of Denny's, the back area, the smoking area. And as a gift for me, Fausto and Psycho Patrick brought a homeless man that claimed he was, at first he claimed he was Houdini. But then at some point he got in his head he was James Brown.
I don't. He tried to sing like that.
Yeah,
and he was drinking Listerine.
Yeah, Listerine.
Was that Bush song? Listerine.
No, it was actually the mouthwash,
no,
which has a small amount of alcohol, but I feel like he had drank a lot.
Very small amount.
His eyes were red, but his breath was glistening fresh.
Then we gave him a ride home.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
That was
we let him in
interesting.
the fucking Jeep.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that. What the hell were we thinking?
We didn't give him a ride home. We gave him a ride
the
to the
Pip shelter.
Which was a homeless depository.
Which he didn't know where it was. We couldn't find it. We dropped him off in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe it's this way. Why?
I think it's that way.
Why did that not happen on a show night so we couldn't get him on stage?
I don't know.
I did bring a guy who was going through the dumpster of the Lucky Dog on stage with us once. That was good.
Was that you?
No.
Oh, sorry. So that was cool. So everyone go check out the Badger game. We are going to check it out very soon. We'll have to we had something planned for next week already, which we already mentioned. We're going to be reviewing Maggie, and we're also going to review the new Faith No More album, Soul Invictus. And so what I want to do is sort of a bit of a, not necessarily a retrospective, but I want to talk about, not just this album, about our love of Faith No More.
Rectum specs.
Sort of celebrate them as a band and how them getting back together is pretty fucking awesome. So we will discuss that next week. So next week we have a jam-packed show. The week after that, we're still finalizing some details, but we'll let you know next week. We don't have much for feedback this week. It was a light feedback week. One thing I wanted to mention, I think I mentioned at the beginning of the show, but just to reiterate, for those folks who watch live, next week, episode 147, we're going to do it a night early. So we're going to be broadcasting on Tuesday, May 19th. Same Trick or Treat Radio time, same Trick or Treat Radio channel, but just a night early. So if you're going to join for the live show, tune in on Tuesday of next week. And because we're going to go check out the Independence and Black Cat Attack.
Shouldn't bother you guys at all because you'll be with us. Patsy, you'll be at the Independence next week. What the fuck?
Yeah. Everyone, this should be like a Trick or Treat Radio field trip.
Yep.
I know it's during the week, but that shouldn't change
It
anything.
should be awesome. Again, Myra worked really, really hard to have this
Myra,
happen.
you worked really hard.
You did a really good job, Myra.
I am still staying up at night thinking about the dress that Myra had on at the Deadite show, so don't say anything bad
Oh,
about her.
schnickies.
Oh, my God.
This is like an hour ago. Patsy said, Jenny Isme told me that Michael Ravenshadow is one dapper motherfucker. Direct quote from the May 2nd show.
Good fucking
You
comment.
were there?
Patsy, that's fucking nice. She's fucking smart, too.
And Patsy says, here's a movie for MZ, The Great Muppet Raper.
Oh, my Lord. How about Jenny Isme and Patsy running amok on all those
Oh, that
porn?
thread? Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
That was ridiculous. It was
I
like
fucking-
2 a.m. and they're just going back and
Yeah,
forth.
I think it was 9 a.m.
Was it?
I saw it on break.
okay.
I don't know. I saw it on break.
On break.
And it was just the most filthiest, disgusting, funny
Remember,
fucking
children.
things.
GSBH is hanging out in the chat room. He says, oh, man, I miss MonsterZero again?
I'm mad at him anyway. He missed the whole fucking show last time. May 2nd.
And then Patsy says, do you really miss him? And JT, our boy JT's in the chat room. He says, I miss him too. I'm sad.
He must have come on. I bet $50 says he came on after I said really nice things about him.
Oh, I thought he meant me when I was going for a smoke.
Patsy says, if we were nice and polite, that would mean that we don't like you fuckers. I think he's right. That's why all of our listeners are mean, maybe?
My dad, the meanest though is my dad, Ledger.
The Ledge? Yeah. Speaking of the Ledge, we got about 6 weeks until he's in Necronomicon.
The way my kidneys feel today, I don't think I have to worry about that shit. I'm gonna put the dye in dialysis before that.
And JT's hanging out. He says he taught me how to teleport. I think he means James Brown, our friend James Brown.
I hope so.
He says you have to be in 2 places at once, then stop being in one of those places.
Because as I recall, they would throw him as Houdini off a bridge in chains. He'd be somewhere before he even got any wet.
That's right. And Patsy says, I work 70 plus hours a week. I'll do what I can. So.
Fucking put some earn time requests in. You got some fucking time.
I work that much too, but I have a really good, bad paying job.
A really good, bad paying job.
Yeah.
So that is, let's see. We don't have any emails. We don't have any voicemails. This is the first time in a long time we haven't had any voicemails.
Yeah.
I guess we'll let it slide this time, folks.
Maybe we don't have any voicemails because the subtext with my new monocle.
Subtext.
Look at my monocle.
We do have some tweets, though.
There you go.
Trick or
tweet.
So we have one from Patsy Rahal, who's hanging out in the chat room. He says, the Deadites, I'm listening to some of the last couple months of podcasts. Holy shit, Michael Racist Shadow.
What are you talking about?
And MZ and porn? No thanks.
No
Are you
way,
sure?
No thanks. I would I'd buy all those.
No, you would not.
I would have the platinum editions.
You fucking kidding me?
Are you kidding?
You want to see MZ in porn?
Something about like that guy. Like think about it. He gets all winded walking up the stairs. Like he'd have to perform for like a few minutes. Like he'd be like they'd be bringing him oxygen, not a fluffer.
Well, I don't think it's one. It's not like Birdman. It's not like one continuous take. I think they cut it.
Well, don't ruin the illusion for me.
I was talking to someone that they had a job editing porn, and their job was to edit out the crying.
What?
Yeah, it's for real. Kind of ruins it, doesn't it?
That would make me like it more.
Okay.
So the last tweet we had was actually no, 2 more. Hunting TV says Black Cat Attack. I love your interview with the Deadites. So I wonder if I know it's a bit of a drive, but I wonder if Jeanette and Alexander will be attending the show.
They should.
It's a bit of a drive from where are they?
Haunted TV Land.
Haunting TV Land. That's right. And one more tweet from Patsy Rahal. He says, "This is a quote: If being the man is a crime, I'm guilty as charged." Ooh. That should replace "Giants Never Die" on Ravenshadow's 8x10 picture.
Ooh, I see a new version coming up, Patsy.
Don't encourage him.
Thank
Jesus
you, Patsy.
Christ. I remember you said that a while back.
I did say that a while back.
I'm glad it
I got
never
douche
came
chills
back.
then.
Yeah.
I got douche chills now.
I believe I originally said it back in '97 during a one of my first NCW promos.
That's right. You also said, "Oh shit, what was the line?"
What
you, me, the bitches that work for me. You also said that line too. So
people seem to enjoy that.
Not the bitches.
Yeah,
one did, but I screwed the pooch on that one.
Who's the sexist now?
Ooh, we are sexy.
There's nothing wrong with being sexy.
Yeah, Joss Whedon's very sexy.
There was some other stuff we wanted to talk about, but I don't know if we have much, I don't know if we have time.
I want to go home.
You want to go home?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm podcasting all day.
That's not my fault.
Yeah,
I
mean,
you do
guys
OTC. That's not our fault.
Talk about any other shit.
Yeah, it's like your part-time job. This is your real.
You got to get up for the real job
and get down.
How's
Trick or Treat Radio is no joke in this town.
How's Bill doing?
It's doing good.
Yeah,
good. He has no beard anymore, huh?
Yeah,
how
it's
was that?
weird. It's
That
creepy.
How was that dinosaur movie?
Fucking terrible. The worst movie I've seen.
Why?
This year.
Why did he pick that movie?
I don't know. And the other movie that I watched that wasn't the
Was the scariest movie you ever seen?
No, well that movie is fucking scary, but the other movie.
You did. So you
Texas
watched
Lightning?
3.
Yeah. So that I can be on next week if I want to, because that's the movie for next week.
Oh.
That was maybe the second worst movie I've ever this year.
What? Why do they watch such shit movies sometimes?
I don't know, but that fucking dinosaur movie, Tina and a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tammy and the T-Rex.
Holy shit, that movie was garbage. It had Denise Richards, who I always find foxy, and at the end she is doing a striptease for her boyfriend's brain because it's been taken out of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but doesn't have a body yet. Yep, that's what happened. It is the least sexy striptease ever.
Do you see Full Frontal?
It's no.
And Paul Walker's in it, right?
Yep. He did.
For Paul Walker completionists. Yeah. Check that out.
Yeah, I don't think I made that joke.
I know. That's why I said it.
I think that I don't think for real Paul Walker's brain is in a jar somewhere. I think he's really gone. They
too soon, maybe.
Soon. Too fucking.
Yeah,
soon.
this was the
Not
worst.
soon enough.
Like the best part of the fucking dinosaur thing in that movie was that it had like people hands, like that would just be like the dinosaur would just be standing there like not doing anything.
Yep.
And like just some people hands with like a dinosaur glove would be moving around. Like
okay.
it was terrible. It was really the worst. It had fucking Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's in it.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Patsy says I still don't have my fucking signed picture, Ravenshadow.
You are really.
And then Ledger says, "Sounds like you win, Pat."
Hey. When do you come to studio, Ledger?
That's my pops. That's my pops right there. Comedic genius.
I'm not gonna sign a picture.
What are you gonna do?
Well, wait till he's in the studio.
You don't even know what you're gonna do.
I don't know. I have a pen.
Get beat up, I guess.
It's on its way, Patsy.
He'll sit next to you.
Ooh.
How many times do you have to see him before you just hand him one?
Yeah, I know.
Shit, Patsy, you should come to fucking the Ralph's on Wednesday.
We already got there
Ravensshadow's
already.
not going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
And B, he's not going to give you a picture.
I got my earned time request. You know, Wife and Shadow's been running amok on fucking tour the last couple of days. So I'm
On
going
tour?
out. Yeah. She's with Wife and Sidekick driving around. I miss her.
Remember, children.
Actually, I miss her so much, I've actually been sleeping on the couch by myself. Just feel like she's home.
All right, I got to go.
All right.
No, you don't. Is your ride here?
Huh?
Is your ride here?
Yeah, I've probably been here for like an hour.
But it's not even like we normally don't even finish yet. All right, so Ravenshadow, any final things you have to say?
No, I think we're done.
I think you're done.
Ooh, I'm looking for some.
I knew fucking
Stop.
MonsterZero was going to like Avengers. I knew it.
It's not that surprising.
It is because he said, I hate it.
I hate it.
It's coming, Patsy.
It's coming?
Yeah.
What?
I feel so creepy, like, knowing what this kid's going to be smacking off about later. Like, I got to see him fucking cue it up.
A, you have no idea. B, you're close.
GSB says Dynamo seems deflated.
Damn.
Too fucking soon.
I've been around Tom Brady.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think he did it. I don't care what anybody
Who gives
says.
a fuck? It's a fucking. Oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I don't care what anybody says. He didn't do it because he's the only thing close to the gauze.
The only thing close to the gauze.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're just fucking delaying the inevitable right now. So
You are. We're ready to go.
No, you are ready to go. Well, actually, Ravenshadow, he's got some stuff queued up.
Yeah, you don't even know.
It's so weird. You like big boobs, huh?
And I cannot lie.
Jesus Christ.
It's the naked dudes I was talking about earlier.
Naked dudes?
Whoa.
What'd you say?
Freudian.
You gonna go and watch Der Samurai again?
See you next week. The fuck?
See the end of the show.
Don't turn around. Uh-oh. You see the samurai's brown eye. Uh-oh.
See his brajole.
He is a wolf. He's in a dress. He runs around and makes a mess. He's really queued up. Like,
are you fucking kidding me right now?
This is so uncomfortable. I'm leaving.
Let's have a conversation.
Douche chills. All right.
What?
Let's fucking end this time.
Let's play fucking Dungeons and Dragons.
We will. Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to episode 146. Remember, next week, if you join us live, we'll be a night early on Tuesday, May 19th, because we're going to go check out The Independence of Black Cat Attack on Wednesday.
Ow!
All right, everyone, we'll see you next week. We're going to review Maggie. See ya.